Standing in my skin. It's been a while. All right, everybody, welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We got a very special episode for you today. It's World Junior Coverage Day. We're fucking amped for that. My name is Talon Jenkins, joined with our host. We got Flying Ryan Gilbert and Holy Jolie Meyer. Gentlemen, how the hell are we doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing better now after hearing that intro there. I was a little bit depressed of the Flyers lost tonight to the Preds, but all good things must come to an end. Nine game point streak. Hopefully they bounce back tomorrow night. But otherwise, still very proud of them in their in the unofficial first half, or whatever you want to call this, before the break. Yeah, I'm excited for this the show here.
I am doing excellent. The results today are going swimmingly, despite the Leafs failing to score 4 goals in a 12-goal game. Reckon the team total there, but otherwise everything is going well. Probably on track to be my best NHL night of the season. The way things are going, couple nice OT results, and shootout too with the Pens. So yeah, I'm flying high, and I'm almost as pumped as Talon is for this episode, because just look at the guy, man. He's ready to go.
Come on, look at me here. You know, they say, if you're gonna fucking look like a fucking idiot, you might as well call yourself a fucking idiot. And if you cheer for a team that just fucking stinks, well, hey, what you gonna do? Bada bing, bada boom, baby. We suck. My team sucks. But you know what? I'm not gonna let me down. You know why I'm wearing this? I'm wearing this to show people that you don't give up on your team after one shit game. This team's better than that. This team isn't a team that should be losing 9-3 to the Buffalo fucking Sabres. Am I surprised that it happened? Not at all. Did I go 0-3 on my lock dogs and totals because of this fucking shit team? Of course I did. Do I give a shit? Do not. Because you know what? Leafs are winning the fucking Stanley Cup. Leafs are going to win the goddamn Atlantic, and you guys can all just suck on my fucking balls, okay? But other than that, I'm doing pretty good here. It's been absolutely electric. I got the World Junior flu, baby. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go here. It's absolutely awesome. Tons of stuff in the world of sports going on, though. Let's get right into this motherfucker. We're rocking and rolling. What do we got going on? We got football. We got football going on right now. The Rams are kicking the Orleans' ass. That's good to see here. What else is going on? We got 4 games in the NHL slate. We're going to run through that really quickly before we get into the World Juniorship. We'll bang our way through that. That'll be nothing. We got college football coming up. That's going to be sweet on New Year's Day with the start of college football playoffs. That'll be absolutely electric. Baseball's doing its thing. Basketball's doing its thing. Golf's doing its thing. MMA, all the stuff in the world of sports, man. You can find all that information on the SGPN website. Be sure to check it out. It's absolutely sick. Read the articles. Check out Ryan's fantasy hockey articles. He's banging out. Those are awesome as always. Listen to the other shows though too, man. So many people are bumping out good content there. So go there if you don't really watch the sport, but you want to gamble on it. Go listen to the podcast about it, and they'll fire you up. That's what I did with NASCAR. I got into NASCAR last year because those guys were just throwing out winners left, right, and center. It seemed like, and I tagged along, made a bit of money, and fucking found myself just fired up about cars turning left, baby. So hell yeah, America. And, of course, shout out to all our friends and pals in the Discord. Discord's always popping off. I have not been in there today. I have been busy. I've been done more work today than I have ever done in my life when it comes to like essays or writing or anything. So I'm sure it was absolutely electric with the 12-game slate, though. I'm sure everybody was just carving my team. Maybe it's for the best I wasn't in there. But hell yeah, as long as everybody's having a good time. If you're not in the Discord, you're not making money. If you want to get in there, you can reach out to myself or Ryan on Twitter. We'll be sure to point you in the right direction, or you can reach out to the HGP Twitter account, baby. Social media assistant producer will tell you everything you need to know. He'll get you fucking right on in there. Or what you can do is you can buy a one-way ticket to Colorado. Because I'll tell you what, if these Avalanche just lose the game to fucking the Senators here, my boy Jolie is going to be flying down to Colorado, and he's going to be giving this team the goddamn biggest pee-pee whack they've ever had in their life. Nate Dogg, pee-pee whack. Devin Taves, pee-pee whack. Gorgiev, pee-pee whack. Everybody, Makar, pee-pee whack. Bowen Byram, pee-pee whack. Anybody else wants one? pee whack. And when you're down there whacking people's wieners, you can be like, hey, buddy, you get a minute? He's like, well, I'm a little bit busy, but yeah, what can I do for you? I'm like, how do I get to the Discord? And he'll be like, this is how you get to the Discord. And then if you don't fucking act right, he might just whack your pee too. So just keep on the lookout for that. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, you mentioned you still wear the merch, the gear after your team shit performances. Well, and you mentioned the Saints getting blown out. Well, look at this.
Hey!
Yeah, birds of a feather here.
What is that? Just random?
I like the Fleur de Lis. I like LSU, so it's like it's my favorite team other than the Bears, I guess. I'm
Big fan of Quebec. Big fan of
Joel,
Quebec.
Joel, do you have any tattoos to show us as well, along with that?
No, fuck tattoos. They're not. Old saying is that tattoos are a push-up bra for men, right? They're just.
I don't think any of us have it.
Very, very interesting take. I like it.
I almost got a NoFX tattoo on my ass, but I was really drunk after a concert, and the guy wouldn't do it. So
I got like this whole big
guy.
I got like this whole big thing on my thigh.
Do you actually?
No.
You should have been like, yeah, it's my dick.
No, that's only for Mrs. M.
Okay. What are we doing here, Ryan? Did you say shit?
Oh, yeah, we had some. Make sure you subscribe to us on wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, also on YouTube. Looks like the Avs just tied it up. That's good. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave us some comments. Got a comment from Doug Reed on last night's show. He said, "Down to earth people. Good to see you guys on YouTube." He also said, "Ha, always picture Joel with a beard and glasses kind of dude." So go ahead, leave us some comments. We'll read them here. Leave us some 5-star ratings and reviews.
I bet he did imagine you with the big tattoo in his eye.
And 4 eyes.
Oh, you never know.
You got eyes on your forehead, for Christ's sake. I didn't see that coming, but we got a 5-star review like a week ago. I don't know if did you guys read it on one of the shows? I wasn't here.
I did not see that.
It's
not on the U.S. Apple, so it might be on the Canada Apple.
It got posted in our Slack thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll rendezvous.
I'll search for it. If it's there, I'll get it before the end of the show.
Okay, we can't have that when somebody actually leaves us a review and we just.
I see it here. Yes, I'll read it right now. 5 stars. Awesome hockey podcast. From there's no name here. I apologize. I don't know if these guys played hockey when they were younger, but sure sounds like they did. This podcast is absolutely hilarious and a must listen for NHL betting content. That's the Apple Podcasts in Canada on the
hell yeah
last Thursday. So yeah, I appreciate the rating there. I'm going to try to find out who posted that.
Damn right, man. We need that shit. We need the little ego boost here. We're going to hold off lock dogs and totals. We'll run through that next show because we're not really doing any of this show.
That's
yes.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Am I still ad boy then, or are you ad boy? Because
well, technically I'm ad boy, but I mean I'm not doing it right now. So you're
delay the punishment.
Yeah, they make me dwell on it.
All right. Well, dwell on this. Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. No matter the sport, simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN.
Hell yeah. All right, boys.
That Avs goal, is it being reviewed? It's still off the board.
I just got the notification from Action Network.
All right. Well, it's probably being reviewed because it's still 4-3.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. Today's been an unreal day. My girlfriend and I exchanged our Christmas gifts today because we're going down on Christmas Eve and stuff, and Christmas Day we're going to be busy and shit. And she gave my birthday's on the 30th of December too, so she gave me a birthday present as well. This chick got me tickets to see Code Orange, and she got me tickets to see Blink-182 and Alexis on Fire. So I'm so fucking stoked. I cannot wait for next year. It's going to be absolutely electric. So I'm having a pretty good day here. But this day is only going to get a little bit better. You know why? Because we got a 4-game slate set for Friday, December the 22nd. Boys, are we ready to rock and roll and fucking power through this here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. right, first game on the docket here. We got the Philadelphia Flyers against the Detroit Red Wings. Game itself is in Detroit here. Philly on the money line sitting at plus 114. Detroit on the money line at minus 135. The over-unders at 6. Over sitting at minus 122. The under plus 102. Mr. Ryan Gilbert, you were just in the building watching the Flyers tonight. What is your prediction for the happenings of this game here?
Yeah, they look decent. They were due for a loss here at some point, so they got it. Unfortunately, could not get 1 point. The big thing for tomorrow is if Carter Hart is playing or if it's going to be Cal Peterson, because that is a huge disparity in the who could potentially be starting backups, because they're not going to play Sam Ersson again. So if Hart's in there, I like the Flyers at plus 114. They've been solid on back-to-backs. They won against the Kings, won against the Blue Jackets, won against the Islanders. And the Red Wings aren't a team I can really trust right now. They've lost 4 in a row, lost 7 of their past 8. So yeah, I like the Flyers here as dogs, and then I probably into the under here, under 6 at plus 102. Could see Torts having his team play a tight checking one out there.
Kind of going the other way here. I know I don't like the Wings very much these days. They're in a bad slide, but I think they need this game in a desperate way. They want to get back to winning ways for the Christmas break here. Minus 135, I think, is just a little light considering the Flyers be on the back-to-back and whatever. And yeah, it's just a crushing loss there to the Preds, giving up a late-ish goal. Yeah, I kind of like the Wings here, but the under is kind of appealing, but then again, the Red Wings, they play shitty defense, and yeah, the Flyers are good off the rush. I could see them counterattacking and getting a couple there that way. And yeah, back-to-back game, it typically leads to overs, so I'm just gonna pass entirely on the total. Just lean to the home team.
Well, I am gonna say a couple things here. First of all, I like Philly in this game. Plus 114. I think they're going to bounce back and get the job done against the Red Wings. This is an interesting spot for Detroit here. This is the first night of a back-to-back for Detroit. They're playing Philly tomorrow, and then on Saturday, they have the New Jersey Devils, which makes me believe that they're going to save James Reimer for the New Jersey game. And do you know who they're going to put in between the pipes tomorrow for this game?
Michael Clutchinson,
baby. I am all over the over in this game. I am all over the Flyers in this game. I think the Flyers might score 6 goals on their own here. Also, where are Flyers traditionally? Where are Flyers? Like, when you think of Flyers, where are they flying?
I would assume
south,
up in the air.
In the air, exactly. And now, where do wings go? Now, piece this one together. Where do wings go?
I guess they're also Beijing.
Beijing. No, they go up in the air as well. So if you got Flyers up in the air and you got Red Wings up in the air, what else is up? It's over, baby. We're up and over. We're flying. We're Red Winging. We're in the air. We got Michael Hutchinson in net here. This game's going over. You're giving it me at 6. I might put down $1,000 on this fucking over. That's how confident I am that this goddamn game's going over here. And then any time that Michael Hutchinson is in net, as long as it's not playoffs, because for some reason he's actually an adequate playoff performer, I am taking the over, and I am taking the opposite team. So give me the Flyers. Give me the over, baby. We're flying. We're in the air tomorrow. Yeah. All right.
Avs up 5-4 because the Sens review failed, and the Avs got a power play off of that, and now it's
they scored again.
The Tides have turned 5-4.
I saw McKinnon hat trick. I saw a tweet about that.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
That's amazing for the hard trophy race there.
Good gracious, that's good. All right, moving down to the 7:30 p.m. time slot here. We got the Edmonton Oilers against the New York Rangers. Game itself is in New York here. Edmonton on the money line sitting at plus 124. New York on the money line at minus 148. Over under 6.5. Over sit at minus 115, the under minus 105 here. Oilers on the second night of a back-to-back. Skinner's confirmed for this game, obviously. I really love the Rangers here, man. I think they're going to fucking beat the piss out of the Oilers. The Oilers are feeling good. They just ended that 3-game losing streak they had by beating the Devils tonight here. But I still think that they're just going to take a shit kicking here from the Rangers. I do expect a lot of offense in this game here. Shesterkin hasn't been, the guy that we saw 2 years ago. His numbers are fine, I guess, but nothing crazy lights out. And there's a lot of firepower. Plus, you got the Oilers in this one, so the over 6.5 is very enticing. I will be betting that little, New York Rangers to win and Shesterkin to have over 29.5 saves, probably sitting at like plus 270 or something like that. That will be my plays for this game.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the Oilers here plus 124. I think that's good enough. They've shown me enough, win against the Devils after losing 3 straight. I think more so just the Rangers are due for some regression. I know that their win against the Leafs should have been closer than the score indicated. Like they've had some not necessarily close games recently, but they're what 4-3 in their past 7, so they've lost some. I think the Oilers are good enough to put some goals up here in New York. So like the Oilers, and then like the over 6.5 at minus 115 as well.
Don't really have a feel for the side here. Rangers have been a bit up and down lately. Same with the Oilers. They had the 3-game losing streak, and they had a nice performance today against the Rangers, especially in the third period. And yeah, the line already is baked in with the back-to-back there. Stuart Skinner is still a better goalie than Calvin Pickard. Oh, I heard someone call him Captain Picard lately, which is just fucking awesome. I wish I thought of that, but can't claim it. But I like it anyway. So yeah, I'm avoiding the sides here, but I do like the over for the same reasons Ryan mentioned. Yeah, it's an Oilers game. Rangers goaltending has been suspect, especially without Quick in net. And yeah, I think that both teams have elite power plays, and yeah, we could see a lot of goals in this one. So I think that this line should be a lot higher than minus 115, 6.5. So over 6.5 for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving down to the 8 p.m. time slot here. We got the Boston Bruins against the Winnipeg Jets. Game itself is in. Oh, it's cold, so cold, so cold, so cold, so cold. It's so cold there. It's so cold. It's so boring. Oh my god, it's so fucking boring. It's so flat. This place sucks. Like this place is probably arguably the worst place in Canada. And there's places in the territories that don't even have power or clean drinking water. That's how bad this place is. So boring. The people probably don't even know what they do with their lives. They're probably just so greasy because there's nothing to do. They're not leaving their house. Why are you going to shower when you got nowhere to go? There's nothing to do. So you're just going to sit there in your grease and just not shower for 4 days straight. It's so boring, so cold, so flat. The airport's so far away from the city. The hockey team, for a while there, people weren't even going, for fuck's sakes. The arena's so small. It's the second smallest arena in the whole league. If Arizona wasn't thinking it'd be that small, I don't know what they're doing. The game itself is in Winnipeg here. Boston Bruins on the money line, sitting at minus 125. Jets on the money line at plus 105. The over-unders at 5.5. Over sitting at minus 120. The under plus 100. Mr. Joel Meyer, I'm going to throw this one over to you, my friend. Bruins, Jets, what's going to happen here?
Jets as dogs at home. Bruins have been sustained by incredible goaltending by Jeremy Swayman, who's been the best goalie in the league so far, I think. He's really the only reason why the Bruins have the record they do. He's been a lot better than Ullmark so far, and I expect it'll be him starting tomorrow. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but do they play on Saturday? I should have looked this. But let's see. They do against the Wild. So I don't know who's playing in this one, but if it's Swayman, I love the under. The Jets don't play. They got old Rick Bowness up there, and he's not a very progressive coach. Let's just say that far more conservative, and that leads to the under games, which the Jets typically play. And Connor Hellebuyck has found his game, so the under 5.5 for me is the best look. But I definitely lean to the Jets here, especially with the Bruins on the back-to-back having to play the Wild in the next game, whereas the Jets, this is their last game before the Christmas holidays, and I think they want to go into that break on a high. So let's go Jets, and more strongly, let's go under.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I love the Jets here, plus 105 at home. Boston, as Joel said, has been propped up, and they've now lost 4 of the past 6. 3 of them were in overtime. So I am kind of looking at the draw here as well at plus 340, maybe a 2-2 for 12-1, or 3-3 at 13-1 if you're looking for a correct score. But yeah, this should be a low scoring game. I think Winnipeg has allowed 3 goals or less in like 21 straight games or something. So I mean, Hellebuck's been great. Their defense has been great. That's why they're winning games. And if they can do that against Boston, it's going to be a win, and it's going to be under. So those are my 2 plays for this one.
Right on. For myself here, man, don't look now, dude. Winnipeg's first place in the division. Like it's obviously, if Colorado
I bet
wins
a plus 450 today to win the division.
That's pretty sick, and Rick Bowness, I know you were just talking about, he's got this team buzzing a little bit. Obviously, the Kyle Connor injury is kind of, you would assume that'd be a setback, but Christ, man, like this team's 7-2-1 in their past 10 games here. They just dismantled Detroit the other day. They're looking good. Hellebuck's coming back in his own here. We're getting the kind of goaltending from him that we expected to see, that we necessarily didn't really see the beginning of the year here. Yeah, dude, I gotta take the Jets at home. 10-5-2 at the home here. Bruins are a sick road team. We know that. They are better at home though. And I don't know, or what's up with Boston a little bit here. There's been a couple of games that it's like, hey, what are we doing? We got leads in the third. We're not necessarily closing them out. Goaltending hasn't been as great, as it is. It's still been good. Don't get me wrong. Linus Olmark, 2.86 goals against average, .912 save percentage. Those numbers are fine. But, this is the guy that won the Vezina last year, for Christ's sakes, right? So, and on the other side, like I said, Hellebuck, 2.43 goals against average, .916 save percentage. This guy's fucking coming into his own here. You just got to ride the hot hand. I'm all over the Jets, plus 105 here. Probably going to take both goalies to make over 29.5 saves. It's probably sitting at like plus 400 or something like that. Both these teams allow a lot of shots. Boston more than Winnipeg, and then both these teams are averaging over 30 shots on goal per game here. I think we're going to see a tight one, though. So I do like the under, like Joel was saying there, at 5.5 at plus 100. I think we can see like a 2-1 game, 3-1 game here.
I love that Jets for the central play. They're still plus 450 at BetMGM if you have it.
I might even jump on that tonight too. Maybe we can all ride with boring old Winnipeg here. Okay, moving down to the last game on the docket. We got the Montreal Canadiens, Le Habitat Montreal against the Chicago Blackhawks. Game itself is in Chicago here. Montreal on the money line at minus 105. Chicago on the money line at minus 115. The over-under is at 6.5. Over sitting at minus 105. The under minus 115 here. Fuck, I really thought that the Habs were going to get it done tonight against the Wild. Ended up losing in overtime, so it was a close game. They had a chance. They battled back in the third period. Big goal by Slafkovsky to push overtime. I think with like 4 minutes left or something. Kaprizov scores with 5 seconds left in the OT. That's always a kick in the pill when that happens, man. But yeah, Habs on the back-to-back here. Montembeault played tonight, I believe. So I imagine tomorrow we'll end up seeing, I guess, either Jake Allen or Caden Primo. I didn't know Jake Allen was back playing. Is he good? Is he healthy?
He's been decent. His last two, he's allowed 2 in each of them.
Okay. Well, we're playing against a Chicago team here that can't really score. I know the Habs are on a back-to-back. Am I crazy for thinking that I really like Montreal in this game? Like minus 105? Fuck, dude, I'm going to be over that here. As far as over-under goes, I don't really have a lean. I guess I lean towards the under. Neither team is really proficient at goal scoring. And neither team is great at keeping the puck out of their net necessarily either. Boring game. Take the under, I guess, at 6.5, and then give me the Habs.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Habs here at minus 105 are a great play. I think they're a much better team than the Blackhawks. Obviously the Blackhawks have Bedard, and they had the best player there, but they're missing a lot of their defensemen. Seth Jones is out. Vlasic is questionable. Kotrinsky's questionable. I think they practiced today, but still, Montreal also has their injuries, but they've been playing without them for a while. They're good on the road, 7-4-2. Blackhawks 6-8-1 at home, and I don't mind them being on a back-to-back. I think their goalies are kind of equal, and they're just a better overall team than the Blackhawks. So I like the Canadiens at minus 105.
Yeah, even on the back-to-back, I got to lean the Habs way here. Blackhawks are it's not a good team. But I think it's worth waiting for the line to move. I think Blackhawks get the money at least a little bit, although really the distance between these two teams is pretty large. So I won't be surprised even if it stays where it is. So yeah, it's all Canadians for me. Just the much better team. Blackhawks are bottom of the barrel in terms of their talent, probably the worst roster in the league right now, especially with their injuries. So Canadians here. I like the under 6.5 though at minus 115. That's pretty good. Blackhawks struggle to score at the best of times. Canadians are not quite the offensive juggernaut they were last year. Then they're more disciplined defensively this year, and then they're getting some goaltending as well. So lean Habs, lean under 6.5.
All right, boys. We made it through the 4-game slate there. Gilbert, any consensus plays we had worth kind of bringing up here?
Oilers, Rangers over 6.5. I think all three of us were on.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Winnipeg plus 105, and the under in that one, under 5.5 plus 100.
Mhm.
And then the Habs minus 105. And then we also have the under Talon,
Yep, I'm on the under there.
under 6.5 at minus 115. So quite a few there for
For
a
4
4-game
games, I think so. You watch, every one of them's going to lose because apparently we all fucking suck. Or that's how that goes, I guess. But okay, gentlemen, this is. Are we gonna do ads? Yeah, we're gonna do them right
yeah,
now.
no, we'll do them here. We'll do them here. We're brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite. Oh, Joel's down. Joel's camera's down for the count here. He's got a few.
PVRs, Aquafina.
PVRs.
It's like a dime. There's a quarter over there, a couple dimes, keyboard.
Something's on the keyboard. It looks like lotion. Could be some sort of
It
other.
does
other
look like
substance
lotion.
there.
There's some organs down there.
All right,
What's
we're
going
brought
on,
to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event should be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. The Game Time app experience is fantastic. They got these flash deals and last-minute tickets. Easy to find and buy tickets for every event, and they give you the images of the seat views so you know exactly what to expect before you arrive. Snag the tickets with Game Time. Game Time tickets make the perfect holiday gift. You still need to buy there. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlay, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hrfbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets.
Holy shit. Take a sip of beer after that, Gilbert. Jesus Christ. Buddy's reading ads for days. Shout out our boy Chris Basso just came in the chat here. Said first time making it here live. How we doing, boys? We're doing good, Chris. Just ran through the 4-game slate for tomorrow, but more importantly, we're covering World Juniors. We're going to jump into that right now. Oh, we got Miss M in the chat too. Jeepers creepers. There is stuff going on. All right. World Junior, double IHF, World Junior Under 20 tournament happens every year. It's the fucking best thing. It's the closest thing to international hockey we've had in the past 12 years. It's absolutely fucking electric. We are very stoked. We are very fun advocates of this. We have Ryan, who's in Philadelphia, he's American. Obviously, we have Joel and I, who are both Canadian. Joel in BC, myself, or in Vancouver, myself in Toronto here. We're gonna go through every team except for. We're not doing Switzerland and we're not doing Norway. I may be able to just touch on Norway at the end of it a little quickly, but that's
Nygaard. That's all I need to know about Norway.
Yeah, literally that. If Norway scores 7 goals this entire tournament, it'll be a success for them. They're probably going to be the team getting relegated. That's all you need to know about that. But we're going to get into it. First, quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the pools. There's 2 pools. We're kind of going to just alternate between pools as we go through. In Group A here, the tournament is in Sweden. We got Canada, Sweden, Finland, Germany, and Latvia. And then in Group B, we got Czechia, USA, Slovakia, Switzerland, and Norway. Gentlemen, any preliminary thoughts about the pool setup here? It kind of seems like USA has a little bit of an easy way, but I will say this Chechnya and Slovakia team are no slouch either. But initial thoughts before we get into teams.
I love how you call it Chechnya.
I know, right? I got to throw that. Yeah. What do I say? Fucking idiot. There you
said
go.
Chechnya, like the USSR Republic.
Exactly.
Or new country, whatever it is. Yeah, the Czechia is a dumb name anyway. Like all the locals hate it. It's a political thing.
They still call it Czech Republic. They still do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as they should. But yeah, the US definitely are on the right side of the bracket here. They got the easy route. That was my first thought. Okay, they're gonna get the 1 seed in that one, which means they'll get an easy opponent in the quarterfinal, and the team is fucking loaded. So the US definitely handed a silver spoon in that respect.
Semis, essentially.
Yeah. But Germany, the opposite. I mean, yeah, they're destined for the for the relegation round, likely against Norway there. Just with Canada, Sweden, Finland, Switzerland are better than them. Latvia are better than them. So even though Germany aren't like the bottom seed in the group, they are on paper the bottom team. So that sucks for the Germans.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, any initial thoughts? You pumped for your USA team here or what?
Yeah, it seems like USA clearly has the easier draw, as the odds say. They're huge favorites to win the group, and Sweden and Canada in another group are neck and neck there, and even Finland can win that. I mean, we'll get into that, and yeah, I mean, in Group B, there's the long shots have a better chance, but it's still USA, even if they falter in one game. I feel like they're going to be good enough to coast to hopefully close to the middle round.
I agree. Now, I agree. USA should, realistically come out of this division number one. I will say though, man, Czech Republic here and Slovakia, like they got some fucking dogs, and we're gonna get into that. Okay, let's go through the first fucking game here. Basically, what happened is we each picked a couple teams that we researched into. Jolie ended up looking into Canada, USA, and Germany. Ryan took Sweden and Finland. I took Czechia, Slovakia, and Latvia. So we're just going to kind of mix it up, kind of go back and forth a little bit here. First team we're going to cover, though, obviously, because it's what we do, right? It's just fucking red and white, baby. Red and white. We don't need your blue because this is what we do, okay? Fucking Canada, Team Canada, the World Juniors, arguably the most electric team to always watch because we're just fucking great at winning. You think of all the history. You think of Jordan Eberle tying games with fucking 5 seconds left. You think of how fucking sick John Tavares was with these tournaments. You think of that 03-04 team with Crosby and Bergeron and all them back on it. They were fucking absolutely electric here. Like Bedard, McDavid, like just stud after stud after stud of this tournament for Canada. Jolie, what's going on with Team Canada this year, buddy? Give us the full breakdown here.
Well, first of all, I just want to say how excited I am for this tournament. And I know Town calls me the prospect expert here, but really, I just study the draft and I study this tournament. And one thing in researching for this tournament, I listen to the same people, the prospect guys, and so everything you hear from me is really secondhand information that I get from guys like Chris Peters at Flow Hockey, Corey Pronman at the Athletic, Scott Wheeler at the Athletic,
Wheeler knows
Sportsnet.
Shit,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bunch of other guys too. So it's like listening to old friends. I only listen to like 2 times a year in the summer for the draft, and then in the winter for the World Juniors. So it's nice catching up with those guys. And second of all, fuck the nerds who call this just a developmental tournament, as though it doesn't mean shit to these players.
People say that?
Yes,
the nerds do. I'm surprised you don't
name
say
names, but yes.
Oh, come on. Show me some respect.
Canada takes this tournament seriously, and it's all about the fans. Like all these junkies be like, oh, if it was so important, then why doesn't Fantilli go? He's a fucking first line center in the NHL. Okay, I understand why a few of the guys don't go, but look at Matt Poitras. He's having a hell of a year for the Bruins. He's still going, and yeah, fuck that. You wear the maple leaf, or you wear the maple leaf, then that's what matters. And then we're all behind you.
I'm sorry, you grow up a kid playing hockey in this country. You dream of playing in this tournament. Like, honestly, I how many nights I'd be like fucking 9 years old, 10 years old, watching the shit, going to bed, just literally dreaming that one day you can be the one that's playing these games, making the saves on TV, everyone watching you talking about it. Like, this is a big fucking deal in this country, man. It really is.
And it even means more now because of the Olympic. There's no Olympics, so it's like, what else is there? It's the World Juniors. The World Championship doesn't mean nearly as much as this tournament does, considering its tradition. It's always on Boxing Day and people home for the holidays, so that's great. But anyway, let's get into Team Canada here. They are obviously not quite as strong as they normally are, but when you won 3 of the past 4 golds, you still got to respect. They opened as the favorites, but that didn't last long. Yeah, but 3 of those gold medals are all played in Canada too, so that should be accounted for. And then the smaller ice, the NHL rinks. But yeah, unlike past years, not a lot of elite talent on the team. Still plenty of depth. All 4 forward lines feature future or current NHLers, and the defense, even without studs like Kevin Korchinski and Owen Pickering, is loaded with first rounders. Not a lot of experience. Only one returnee from the 2023 team Owen Beck, and he looks to be playing a fourth line center, which again shows the depth of this team because he's pretty damn good too. Once again, Canadian goaltending is definitely a weakness. A lot of question marks as usual there. But as usual, the idea is that their goalie does not have to win games for them. He just can't lose games for them. Just be average and you'll be all right. Well, obviously the big name for the Canadian team is the number one overall pick for 2024, most likely Macklin Celebrini, 17-year-old kid out of Boston University. He's lighting it up there in the NCAA. 15 games played, 10 goals, 25 points. Also, he'll likely be the second straight first overall pick out of Vancouver. I'm not sure
that's pretty
when's
cool.
the last time that's happened. Yeah. Not quite Bedard, but still lethal talent. I heard comparisons to Nathan McKinnon with his Rhino style of charging all over the ice. He'll be relied upon both to break open games, contain the best threats of opposing teams. He's a strong two-way player. But the first line is probably not going to feature him. It's shaping up to be consisting of two Wenatchee Wild teammates, Matthew Savoie and Connor Geekie, drafted by the Sabres and Coyotes respectively, who have been destroying the WHL, where they are averaging more than 2 points per game. Leafs prospect Easton Cohen will likely be asked to do more of the defensive work on that line. And speaking of the W, Blue Jackets draftee Denton Machachuk already has 35 points in 24 games with the Moose Jaw Warriors. He's probably the best Canadian defenseman. Sharp, mobile, killer pass. So far, he's been paired with Tristan Luneau, the Ducks prospect, who already has a goal and 2 assists in the NHL. Another outstanding D-man is the gigantic Maverick Lamoureux, who stands at 6'7", but still has plenty of build. Yeah, he's a monster. Drafted by the Coyotes, he is currently second in scoring among defensemen in the queue. Tanner Molendyke, another first rounder, another one to keep an eye on. Fast, skilled, shifty defender in the mold of a Bowen Byram. Goaltending, we mentioned that. Bit in flux. Expected start is going to be Sabres property Scott Ratzlaff, who was incredible at the 2022 Hlinka Gretzky Cup, but has struggled as a starter for the Seattle Thunderbirds, posting a sub 900 save percentage and a losing record. He's been sick lately, but sick, like literally throwing up sick, but you should be fine for opening day. If he falters, expect a quick change for Mathis Rousseau, who has been great for the Halifax Mooseheads, having the best record and save percentage in the queue. As for betting implications, Team Canada are not used to being the underdog, of course, being a hotbed for hockey for as long as the sports existed. But with Bedard, Fantilli, Korchinski, Benson, etc., all sticking with the NHL clubs and the rise of hockey culture in other countries, specifically the United States, Team Canada are definitely underdogs going into this tournament. They'll have to use that underdog mentality to their advantage, which means playing a grindier, grittier style of game than the finesse, just where they just try to score 8 goals a game like they usually do. But that's what this team are built like anyway, with size and physicality spread across the roster. For Canada to win it all, they'll need to play conservatively, prevent chances off the rush, and have solid goaltending, and hopefully giving games 3-2. They're in the same group as Sweden and Finland, and with the United States being $3 favorites to be in their weak group, I think it's higher than that now. It'll be important for Canada to win Group A in order to avoid the United States, at least until the final, of course.
Jolie, excellent fucking job, buddy. That was very well done. It's a lot of great information there. What do you think? Realistically, you think this team has a chance to make it, or what?
Oh, it's Canada. They always have a chance, but it's going to be, a different kind of game for them. They're not the favorites. They're going to be the dogs. They'd be dogs against Sweden, dogs against the United States, and that's not something I'm used to seeing. One more thing that I should have mentioned off the top is that no Russia, and still Canada are not in the top 2 favorites.
This is bullshit. There are a lot, there's a plethora of fucking unbelievable talent right now in Russia. You have 18-year-old, 19-year-olds that are in the KHL, and it used to kind of be like if you're 18, 19 in the KHL, you're playing 5 minutes a night. You're just kind of there, right? These guys are not only playing, but fucking thriving, and it's fucking offense, it's defense. There's goaltenders in there that are putting up fucking below fucking 2.0 goals against averages and shit, and they're 19 years old that would be eligible for this tournament. So the fact that Russia isn't in here is a fucking absolute abomination. And you are right, this is something that we had to bring up. These Russia teams would be fucking unbelievable. That's all I'm gonna say.
So what do you think about Team Canada, boys?
It's like you said, bro. It's Canada. They'll always have a chance, right? And it's something funny about this tournament. Sometimes, even when they're not the better team, they just find a way to fucking get it done, you know. And maybe it's part of what we said on the top of the thing. It's because this tournament means so much. Not to say that it doesn't mean as much to other countries. You know, international play in Europe it's everything, right? Look at the Champions Hockey League. You know, when all the leagues come together to play in that's fucking huge. International play. The World Cup is actually relevant to these European teams, and the World Juniors is no different, right? But it's worrying me, man. Like, who was the last good Canadian goaltender that we had play in this tournament? Like Carter Hart?
Yeah,
I don't know.
honestly.
Probably. Like, that was probably it. Truth be told,
is this year's goaltending situation like? Could anybody take over, or is there like an expected
it's the
one
same
or
as
two?
it's the
Or is it
same
just
as
like,
always.
or it's just like you wouldn't be surprised if any of them won the gold medal? Like they could, any of them could step up, or is it like one has the edge?
If they
Well, it's
win,
either
it's not going to
Ratzlaff
be from
or
goaltending.
Rousseau, but neither of them have been, neither of them have like Askarov or Wallstedt the potential like these elite guys in Europe. But yeah, just be solid. Just give us average goaltending, and Canada should be able to take care of the rest. Especially, they're more built like a defensive team this year than they usually are. So that probably helps the goaltending. But still, if you're getting leaky goaltending against like a Sweden, United States, then they're not going to win.
There's some teams with a lot of offensive firepower in this tournament, man. So if you don't have a guy, or if you got a guy that's giving up shitty goals, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, man. Like, you have to have somebody in there that's not letting in the bad goal and letting you drop behind, like in the third period in a tie game or something off a shitty fucking wrist shot from 40 feet out. You know, you need somebody
Also,
in there to make the saves.
I didn't give out a bet for the Canadian team. I don't have any. There's markets open for top goal scorer, top point scorer. Don't have any of that. But under 5.5 versus Finland in the first game, I love that. Like the way that the Finns and the Canadians will play this tournament. Under 5.5 on Boxing Day. Let's go.
Right on, man. Fuck yeah. Okay, very good analysis, Joel. I love that so much.
I do have a few thoughts on Canada here. I mean, you guys, great job.
I forgot. Ryan, go.
No, I'm not nearly as prepared as you guys are for this, so I'm very happy that you guys are carrying this segment. But I think that the important things here are, I like that there's no like one goalie. I like that any of them can step up, and there's no one that's going to be like hurt feelings or butt hurt if they, not step up, but like they're not going to be. It's not going to be a shit show if someone gets benched. I like that they have Patra from the Bruins. I think having that experience is good. I think having Celebrini, having that talent, potentially one of the best, most skilled players in the tournament, also is going to make a difference. So I think it's just a matter of, as you guys said, Canada is always in it, and we'll see what their odds end up being after a few games.
Hell yeah, man. Okay. We're going to move over to Group B here. For myself, I have done a lot of fucking digging this past week. I have been watching highlights. I've been watching like full-on fucking like packages from 2 years ago on these guys. I've been watching draft profiles for some of these players, man. I have done more work in this shit than I have done in anything else to do with this show or within fucking almost anything in my life. So a lot of stuff, like, yeah, I'm reading articles and taking it, but I wanted to get eyes on some of these players that I've talked about, and I wanted to kind of get my own opinion on their game, right? So a lot of it's going to be, from what I read, from what I listened to, and then a lot of it from what I saw as well. We're going to move over to Group B here. We're going to start things off talking about Czechia. This Czechia team, man, they have 9 players that are drafted into the NHL on its roster. When you think of Czechia, it used to be like even the Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia back in the day, right? You used to think of, they'd have a handful of players, not really a contender. I remember Yaroslav fucking Yanis back in like 2007, a last old man in goal. Like, they had some cool guys and shit. But we're seeing some pivotal development. Look at last year's draft, for Christ's sake. So 2 years ago, drafted like Jiri Sapkowski and shit like this. Like, you have guys coming out of Eastern Europe and Europe itself that are just fucking fantastic at hockey, man. And so the game's changing. It's pretty cool to see. Yeah, David Juracek's brother's on this team as well. He's projected to be a top 10, top 15 pick next year. We're going to talk about him a little bit. So yeah, drafted players on this team, there's 9. Returning players from this team from last year, there's only 6. Now, a lot of these guys did play together internationally at other tournaments and other kind of things happening in Europe. But as far as returning players for the World Juniors from last year's team, there's only 6. Might be a little bit of a detriment. Whatever, this Czechia team, they're looking to build off their silver medal campaign from last year. Man, with that semifinals 2-1 overtime win against Sweden, that was absolutely fucking massive. That's still in the thoughts of the program here. But that 3-2 overtime loss in the gold medal game to Canada, dude, like that's a fucking kick in the pills. You had a chance to win this tournament. You're in overtime. You're playing against fucking Canada. That could have easily gone their way, and Czechia could have won the fucking gold medal, for Christ's sakes. They did lose a shitload of studs from their last year team, but overall, man, like they've done an excellent job filling the holes with kind of like next men up. There's a lot of talent here, dude. Run through like how I did my research here. I ran through like a couple forwards, a couple defensemen, goaltending I'm going to talk about, and then a little bit of synopsis of the team here. So the first guy for this team you got to talk about. How can you talk about this team without talking about Yuri Kulich? Yuri Kulich is fucking sick. This guy has potential to be potentially maybe like player of the tournament. That's how good this guy is. 19-year-old centerman. He was drafted 28th overall in the first round in the 2022 entry draft to Buffalo. Playing for the Rochester Americans this year in the AHL. That's a 19-year-old playing against men. 23 games played. He had 16 goals, 6 assists for 22 points. Last year's campaign with this Czechia team, he had 7 games. He had 7 goals, 2 assists, and 9 points. So pretty adamant part of their offense. You can expect to see that again for sure here. He's going to be a fucking stud. Dude, all the pieces are coming together for Kulich here, man. Like the offensive production is absolutely phenomenal in the AHL. For a 19-year-old playing against men, that's very impressive. And most importantly, he's getting every chance to play too. It's not like he's just there playing like shit minutes or whatever. They're playing this kid, and rightfully so. He even played his first game with Buffalo this year. He didn't have any points. I think he was -1 on it, but good for him to get a taste of the NHL. He could easily be a top player in this tournament. Like I said, he could potentially even win MVP, man. If this team goes off, he'll be the reason why. And if they do, chances are that could be on the table. Dominating with zone entries, elite skating ability, so fucking good on his edges, dude. If you watch this guy, it's absolutely lights out. Elite shooting ability, hands down the best player on this Czech team. So if they're gonna fucking go anywhere and go on a run, he's gonna be the number 1 guy for him. Moving down here, we got Edward Chalet. He's an 18-year-old right winger. He was drafted 20th overall in the first round in the 2023 entry draft to the Seattle Kraken. Currently playing for the Barrie Colts of the OHL. 25 games played, 7 goals, 14 assists for 21 points here. In last year's tournament, he played all 7 games. He had 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points. It's not really a surprise here, but Shaley's best asset is his playmaking ability, dude. Like he's able to see plays develop. He's patient enough to watch for them to unfold, and then he's skilled enough to make the right move. He's an excellent setup guy, excellent passing ability all over the ice from the offensive zone and the defensive zone and breakouts as well. 18 years old. He's expected to drive play. He'll be on that first line here with Yuri Kulich for sure on the wing. He'll be his setup man, So one's only going to be as good as the other kind of thing. And these two together are going to be fucking sick. So I cannot wait to see that first line. Another big player that a lot of people are talking about here, it's Mateus Sapovaliev, 19-year-old centerman here. He'll probably be on the second line centerman for this team. He was drafted 48th overall in the second round of the 2022 entry draft to the Vegas Golden Knights. He's currently playing for the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL here. 27 games played. Guy's got fucking 12 goals and 24 assists for 36 points in 27 games. Last year's World Juniors in 7 games, he had 7 assists, obviously 7 points. Fucking setup guy, man. Like this guy is so sick with the puck here. Arguably one of the best second line centers we'll see in this tournament as well. So when he's playing against that second line competition, you should see him thrive. He should be on everyone's radar, dude. He's got great hockey sense, puck protecting ability as well. He's a bigger boy. And even though he has great offensive upside and elite playmaking ability, he's fucking sick on the penalty kill, man. Like this is one of those guys that's just going to play the box. Like he's going to be pressuring the puck carrier. If you're trying to gain the zone on him, he's not just going to give it to you on the penalty kill. And he'll be a big factor for Czechia here, especially if the team's up by a goal or 2 in the third period. You'll see him on the ice for sure. We also got Adam Zidlichi. He's an 18-year-old right wing, left winger. He plays both sides of the wing here. He went undrafted last year. I think that might change. This is a guy that could potentially get drafted as an overager in this year's draft. Currently playing for the Mississauga Steelheads in the OHL. 26 game plays. He has 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. you look at the point production and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck am I even talking about this guy, right? But honestly, it's his defensive game that makes me believe that like he's going to be a core piece on this team, dude. Like he's fucking mastered the defensive game at the junior level. Like when it comes to regards to like forechecking, back checking, being hard on the puck here, neutral zone position as well. He's fucking elite at it, man. And if Chechia, like I said, similar with Sapovaliev, if they're up in the game, like 5-10 minutes left or something, this is one of the fucking dogs you want on the ice. And those two on the combo, center, left wing here in a shutdown position, they got some pieces on this team that are going to fucking worry you, man. From the defensive side of the things, we have Marek Alsher. He's a 19-year-old left-handed defenseman. He was drafted in the 3rd round to the Florida Panthers, to 131st overall in the 2022 NHL entry draft. He's playing for the Portland Winterhawks in the WHL. 26 games played. He's got 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points. This motherfucker is everything you want from like a 6'3", 200-pound defenseman, dude. That's 19 years old, for Christ's sakes. He'll clear the front of the net. He's fucking mean, right? He'll give you those cross checks, those little shots. He'll fucking crush you too. He'll step, he'll hit you. He's got a very active stick in the defensive zone, especially on like the penalty kill and stuff like that, getting it in place, stopping those cross ice passes. This guy's a beast when it comes to blocking shots, dude. He fucking lives for it. This guy eats pucks for breakfast here. His skating is a tad rough, a little bit to be desired when it comes to that aspect of his game. But generally speaking, he makes up for it for being in good position. He doesn't get caught on the pinch. Defensively, he's always in a good spot, playing in tight, putting himself between the player and the net. So his success will definitely be important for this team to defend in their own end. As well as defensemen. This is where it gets a little bit interesting, man. Thomas Galvis, he's a 17-year-old left-handed D-man. He is draft eligible this year. So you look at Canada. Canada doesn't have too many guys that are draft eligible. A lot of these European teams do have 1 or 2 or 3 guys here, man. Sorry, Chris Basso just made me laugh a little bit in the chat there. Anyways, Tom Galvis is playing for Billy Tagril Liberec in the Czech Men's League. So he has 19 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. 17-year-old playing against men. It doesn't matter where you are. That's tough to do for anybody. Galvis has been holding his own in the league, dude. He's expected to flourish as one of the 2 17-year-old draft-eligible defensemen on this Czech team. Galvis, he won't blow you away from a production point of view, man, but his skating ability and his skills headmanning the puck up the ice, that's what provides value here. That's why this guy is so good. He's so fucking fast. He's so good at moving the puck out of his own end up to the forwards, man. This is an important tournament for him too, because he's kind of up in the air. Like, where is he going to go in the draft? Does he have potential to sneak into that 3rd round? Is he going to be more of a 6th, 5th round kind of guy? This is a big draft for him, man. This is a big tournament for him to kind of showcase himself. He'll be looking to do a good job for sure. As well in defense, we have Thomas Tamara, 19-year-old lefty. 3rd round pick, 87th overall in the 2022 draft for Ottawa. He was playing for Kitchener in the OHL this year. He was traded to Brantford halfway through the season to the Bulldogs. 18 games played in Kitchener, 0 goals, 3 assists for 14 points. Kitchener fucking sucks. When he got moved to Brantford, though, production did pick up 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 points. In a total of 14 games there. So collectively 32 games played, 1 goal, 11 assists for 12 points. Last year's World Junior team, he was here. He had 7 games played in all of them. He had 1 assist, 1 point. He was a middle pairing playmaker on the Czech team, silver medal team last year. You can expect him to play a larger role this year too. Smart defensive decision-making ability to thrive under pressure. That'll be put to the test here when he's going to be expected to fucking eat minutes against other teams' top lines, man. So, and most importantly, dude, they're going to be looking to him to be a leader on this back end of this team here. There's not a lot of people returning from this team. I think they only have 2 returning defensemen as well. He's arguably the better of the 2. They're going to be looking for him to kind of step things up, to be poised, keep the guys together when things get a little bit rough here. So, Thomas Hamara will be playing a big role. The other defenseman I really wanted to talk about, I'm kind of excited to, is Adam Juracek. Jolie touched about his brother here. Adam Juracek is 17 years old. He's a right-handed defenseman. He is draft eligible for this year, currently playing for a HG Paisan in the Czech Men's League. 19 games played, 0 goals, 1 assist for 1 point. Sound shit. It's not, dude. You're 17-year-old. You're playing against men. That's tough, but he is good enough to get active ice time. Much like Thomas Galvis here, he is eligible for the draft, and he's 17 years old playing against men. He's ranked in the top 15, dude, of this year's draft. Like I said, even fucking Craig Button has him ranked as high as 6th overall. And Craig Button can be a little bit hit or miss when it comes to some things like this, dude. He can be a little bit out to lunch, but the talent's there, dude. And regardless, whoever drafts this guy, you're getting a fucking stud, man. But he has a high-end playmaker, more than adequate defensive capabilities as well. Obviously, his brother David Jiricek was drafted 6th overall to the Jackets in 2022, mainly for his big frame, his 200-foot game. His younger brother has all of that as well, dude. I think David Jiricek's 6'3". His brother right now at 17, 6'2". Honestly, his brother though, like, takes a little bit more risk on the offensive side of the puck, and like David Jiricek's not afraid to shoot the shot. This kid's not afraid either. This is a good fucking player, dude. So I'm excited to see how he does as a 17-year-old in this tournament. And then finally, and this is something I'm really excited to talk about here, is their goaltender, dude. Michael Hrabel. Michael Hrabel is 18 years old. He was drafted 2nd overall last year, 38th overall to the Arizona Coyotes in the 2023 entry draft. He's currently playing at UMass in the NCAA. He's got 12 games played. He's got 2.67 goals against average, 0.905 save percentage, a 7-3-1 record. This motherfucker is 6'7". They have an ogre in between the pipes on this fucking Czech team. It's not even fair. What the fuck are we doing? Like, you can't.
He played for them last year, right? He was the goalie.
No, he did. He didn't actually. No, they had another guy who was like 6'6". This is different. Yeah, he didn't play. He was on the under-18.
I recognize the name though.
He was at the Helenka Gretzky Cup this year, or last year, I think it was. One of the two. He was fucking sick. No, he's 6'7". Like, this is like having Gilbert in the net. That's how big this motherfucker is. All right, they don't stand a chance. But more importantly, though, because of his big frame and limbs, he doesn't have to move as much in the net, so he's a bit more calm or a bit more poised back there. He's not over moving to kind of try and make things work. He was so fucking sick in the Helenka Gretzky Cup last year, like I was talking about. Like, more importantly, though, the dude battles for every puck. He's one of those guys that he hates getting scored on. You know, you can see like fucking like flame eyes, like fucking like Tuukka Rask. Like, you know, whenever he got scored on, you'd look into his eyes and he just looked like he hated his existence. You get a little bit of that in ball, man. He honestly, like, this guy, there's potential here that, like, if this team goes on a run, he could leave Sweden with the goalie of the tournament over. Like, he's that big, he's that good, he has the poise to do so. There's a chance that this guy could win goalie of the tournament here.
A new Hasek.
It could be very well a very different style than Hasek. But yeah, do you like? Okay, this year's going to be a fucking battle to reach the semis for, you know, any of Canada, USA, Czechia, Slovakia, Sweden, Finland. Like, it's going to be tough no matter what. A lot of things are going to have to go right. Matchups are going to have to be important, who you meet and when. But you know what, dude, with the likes of Yuri Kulich, like, and of course Michael Hrabel and net, some of these D-men as well, I think the Jets I think they're going to upset a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, man. This might be a bit of a bold take because there's a lot of love coming the way of like Sweden and Finland as well. But I got this team poised to medal, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if they came away with a bronze medal here. So that's just myself. That's my breakdown. I really like this Czech team, dude. Like they got some fucking gamers out there, man. They're gonna be sick.
Yeah, they're always a competitive team. Yeah, really excited to see what Yuri Kulich can do. I added him 25-1 top point scorer because he's going to be most of their offense. But yeah, Czechs are usually more of a conservative team, which is, you know, they have a lot of good goalies traditionally. So the problem is their D is a little like it's good. Like you look at a team like Slovakia, we'll get into it. Their D is a little bit suspect this year, but the Czech defense isn't as good as they've been in the past. They might have to rely on offense a little bit more this year, you know? Yeah. And Jiricek, if he's like his brother, he's more offensively oriented, right?
He is. So, yeah.
Czechs are, you know, the shortest odds of the dark horses, you know, behind the big four, so to speak. So yeah, I could see them the meddling, though I did not bet that.
Mm-hmm. I think last time I looked, it was at like 7-1 or is it 6-1 or something like that.
No, shorter
for
than
what?
That. To medal.
This was a while ago, but maybe. But because what did we say? Slovakia is at like 10-1. I think we saw.
Yeah,
that's what I
Czechs
saw.
I gotta find it, but they're only 14 or 16-1 to win the whole thing. So I just figured that the medal odds would be around 3 or 4-1. But
do you think they could win the group, or you think USA just has that?
I think if anybody else other than USA was to win the group, it'd be them. So if things fall where they may, if they have an upset when they play USA, which they beat them last year, like
yeah,
At the odds, though, I'd rather take Slovakia.
Mm-hmm. At the odds, yes.
Yeah. So what do you got, Gilbert?
Yeah, Ryan's going with Sweden here.
I have Sweden here. I am not nearly as prepared as either of you guys. I'm very impressed with your work
Talon
there.
was good.
Talon
that was longer than any of the pods I listened to about.
I'm sorry, boys.
No, it's all good. It's all
the
useful information.
There's a few big things here with Sweden that I really like about it here. First of all, they're at home. They're hosting the tournament. It's in Sweden. You know, all the players they're playing in the time zone they're used to. There's no changes. Secondly, the SHL is a great league. I think it's probably second or third best league in the world. You know, behind fourth.
No.
What?
NHL,
KHL,
AHL, NHL, KHL, AHL.
That SHL,
maybe it's.
I think it's fourth.
Yeah, I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid fourth, which is still
best,
decent.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, the KHL is not. They're not playing in this, so it's the third best that's eligible to play in this.
Touche.
I guess. But yeah, the SHL is good, and like these guys have played together for a while. You know, I do like that. You know, they don't really have anybody that's going to take over the net between the pipes here. They have three guys. They have a 6'6" guy who can maybe take over. You know, I would love that. Kevin Riedler, a fifth-round pick of the Sens in 2022. He could take it over.
Represent you tall fucks or what?
Yeah, I would hope so. Melker Thielen as well, a fifth-round pick of the Coyotes this last year. You know, he's been decent, but, you know, he hasn't been too good. And then you got this Hugo Havelid, who, you know, he hasn't been too good. And I think he's played in the SHL, 890 save percentage, 3-4, but he's been solid in international play. 920 save percentage in 5 games this year. 905 in 4 games the year before, 907 in 11 games the year before. So I think he's going to be the starter there, Havelid, and you know he has experience playing for the international team. So I like that there. You know, from what I've read, also like Joel, you know, I'm mostly repeating what I've read on EP Rinkside or Hockey DB or whatever here. This is a deep team here. This is a team that has, you know, 6 first-round picks here between their top 9 and top 4 on defense. You know, a first-round pick on each of their top 3 lines. They're deep. They're lines that can go out there. They can score a goal. They can go out there. They can, you know, defend if they have to. And, you know, Sweden at home is going to have that extra push to, you know, want to go out and win it all. And these players, I think there is some aspect to the World Juniors where I feel like some of the North American players are like, okay, this is kind of my time to showcase myself. No, it's in the back of their heads. I'm not calling them out, but it's there. I think more than a team like Sweden, especially when they're hosting it. So I mean, these guys have played together. They got a lot of NHL prospects. I mean, what did I say? 6 first-round picks. All of them were in the top 25. So a few lottery picks in there. So, you know, I think Sweden has just always been a solid team. And they're home, and you know, also look for their overs. I feel like they're a solid team that they can score, and you know, I don't necessarily trust their goaltending too much, so I would be looking for the overs in their games.
I kind of disagree with that. I really disagree with that. I think that the Swedes will be much like last year's team, with just a stellar defensive core. They probably have the best defense in the tournament. It's absolutely loaded. We have a 11th round pick. Tom Willander of the Canucks playing in the third DVD pairing from the 11th round pick last year. I think the Swedes will try to choke teams out like they did last year. They don't have Wallstedt like they did last year's tourney, but they still have a decent goalie back there. I forget his name at the moment. I did not study Sweden as hard.
Havelid, that one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's decent, as he said. So I think the unders are the way to go with the team Sweden. But that said, that's why the prices are so long for their top goal scorer, like Jonathan Lekkerimäki, also the Canucks. Big surprise, Canucks love their Swedes. 40-1 top goal scorer. The Swedes, I think, will win their group. That's another bet of mine. I bet that plus 175 to win Group A. And yeah, Swedes home ice advantage. They're more used to the big ice, right? Compared to like the North American players playing in North America. And yeah, I think Sweden has a legit shot to win the thing. But the problem is with the Swedes always is that they have so much potential, they have so much talent, but they always fall short of expectations. It happens again and again and again. And it's kind of like the opposite of the Finns, which we'll get into later on, who always overachieve expectations or usually do anyway. But yeah, the Swedes, I can't trust them for the full thing, but I love them to win the group because I do think that they are a more complete, better team than Canada, and just that back end is amazing. I think it's the best defensive core in the tournament. So yeah, Jonathan Lekkerimäki 40-1 top goal scorer and plus 175 to win Group A.
Dude, the thing about Swedish hockey, man, like and this isn't just at the SHL level. Like this is the SHL. This is Allsvenskan. This is U20 National League. Whatever it is, man. Like it's not an offensively dominated league. There is offensive talent. There's an abundance of talent. Look at the likes of Elias Pettersson, William Nylander, all the other Swedes that are dominating in the NHL. Now the talent is there, but the structure in the system that these teams play is more so based on a defensive side. You watch an SHL game, you're not going to see 2-on-1s as often. You're never going to see 3-on-1s. Like breakaways are hard to come by in these leagues, man. There's sometimes you'll see high scoring games. Don't get me wrong. That's the nature of the game, right? But from a system point of view, these teams are solid defensively. And it's simply because you have to be. The size of the ice that these guys fucking play on, if you're getting caught fucking 10 feet out of position, you might as well be 25 feet out of position. That's how crazy it is. So,
yeah, a note on the ice too is that intuitively you think that more ice, more space, more speed for guys to play through and score goals, but actually it's the opposite. It's more condensed ice that creates more scoring opportunities. So the bigger ice leads to fewer goals. So I'm looking towards unders in this tournament.
It's a really interesting point of view. Brought up a lot of good points though there, Ryan. I like that. The goaltending points are definitely worth value there. They got some fucking studs back there, man. And defensively, this Swedish team, they're going to be the talk of the tournament. Obviously, it's in Sweden, which helps the cause too. Also, I might be biased. This might be a hot take. I like it when this tournament is in Europe. Like we've had it in Canada a lot. I know every other year they go back to Canada just financially. It makes sense. They make a lot of money off it here. But like I remember growing up, waking up at 8 a.m. watching games in like Slovakia or some shit like that. And I thought, oh Jesus Christ, my fucking cat's on the keyboard. But yeah, I enjoy kind of when this tournament's in Europe. I like
easy for you to say on the East Coast there. Fucking
that's a good point. I didn't
3:30 in the morning when the first game start for me.
You're right. I didn't think about that. That's selfish of me. But it's over the holidays. You should be off work anyways. So
I am off work, so I'll try to get as much as I can. But I'm not waking up at 3:30. I'll miss those games. So those are usually the worst games anyway. Or worse for me anyway. You'll probably jack off to Latvia versus Germany or whatever, Switzerland. But yeah, one more thing on the Swedes. Three Canucks prospects on the team. So Canucks fans out there, you should follow the Swedish team. Tom Willander, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, and Elias Pettersson, the second Elias Pettersson on the team, who is a defenseman. So yeah, Canucks fans, cheer for Team Sweden if you're not cheering for Team Canada.
Hell yeah, man. All right, Mr. Meyer, I guess you're gonna jump to USA here, eh?
Sure, let's go to the favorites. On paper, this is the strongest America U20 squad that I can remember. There is talent littered throughout the roster, forwards, defensemen, even the goalies. There's depth, there's quality. Historically, the Americans have tried to counter the superior skill of the Canadians, Swedes, and Russians with the more aggressive physical style of play, much like the Flyers did against when the Russians came over in the 70s there, the Broad Street Bullies.
Oh, Lordy. He was talking about when the Russian came over.
Bullies,
I know. Well, Jolie, you broke up a bit there. The Russian hackers heard you talking and they got into you.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I don't know where I was cut off.
Broad Street Bullies versus Russia in the 70s.
Yeah, well, that's all I said, really. So we didn't miss anything. But yeah, the underdog is better served playing this style, which is what has served the Americans well when they got the job done. They have won 8, or they've medaled 8 in the last 10 tournaments, playing that kind of way. But now the shoe is on the other foot, with the Americans inarguably having the more talented roster. We'll see if they can ditch the underdog status and take on the role of the favorite. they haven't struggled in the World Juniors lately, but they haven't exactly dominated. But this is a squad that is absolutely poised to dominate. If you go up and down the lineup, there's skill, like on all four lines. Like most teams would kill to have one line consisting of these players. But this is the first time they go into the tournament's favorites, so it'll be interesting to see how they play with these higher expectations. The leadership group, all veterans of 2023. 7 total returnees. We have Rutger McGordy. He was questionable to play in this tournament. He was in the hospital for nearly a week, but he came out all right, and he's going to play. And apparently, everyone loves him. He's the heart and soul of the team, so that's important. He's going to be playing on the top line, on the wing but besides Connor Guttier, who's an excellent player, and Jimmy Snuggerud, who's got one of the best handles in the tournament.
It's a sick name, dude. It really is.
All right. Yeah. The top 9 of this team, just to give you an indication of how great they are all first-round picks, except for Gavin Brindley, who is an early second-round pick. So this team is absolutely loaded with talent, loaded with potential. Danny Nelson, another great name. He's been great at camp, gotten a lot of hype, and he's just the fourth liner. Once again, team's absolutely stacked. The defense, very mobile, not nearly as big as Canada's, but it's more loaded with talent, I think. It could potentially struggle versus bigger teams crashing the net, like the Finns or the Canadians with their bigger forwards, but they're trading off those weaknesses, I guess you could say, for the breakout and offensive qualities you get with the smaller defensemen. Just think of a bunch of Quinn Hughes is out there. That's what you get with the Americans. They have the top 3 scoring defensemen in college hockey, and Ryan Chesley is arguably the best shutdown defender in his age group. And once again, the Americans defenders not quite as loaded as the forward group, but still elite, very good up and down. They didn't even call in Cole Eisenhower, who's going to be likely a top 3 pick in the 2024 draft. A bit disappointed in there. Also, another one who was left off, who made the camp but didn't make the team, James Higgins, who was the favorite to be the number 1 pick in 2025. He wasn't selected, but that's because this team is too stacked, and they're going with more of the veterans, like a lot of the same guys from last year. So that makes sense there. I guess he'll be definitely loaded, or he'll definitely be going next year. And look out for this guy, James Higgins. He's going to be more of a Austin Matthews kind of type. For goaltending, Trey Augustin, he's a nominal starter. He was great last year, but Fowler, this guy, I forget. I didn't write it down where he's playing, but he's had a much better season this year. He could snag the starting role, but both guys.
Is that Ricky Fowler's cousin?
Yeah, sure, except American.
Ricky Fowler
cousins
is
from across the pond. Yeah. Oh, is he? Yeah, you're right. He's always hanging out with fucking Rory McIlroy. So I got confused, right? Trey Augustin, nominal starter, but Fowler, much better season so far. I think that he could snag the starting role. We'll see how that transpires. But either way, Americans' goaltending is in great shape, much like the rest of the roster. So this team is the team to beat, which is why I bet them early on. Like as soon as we saw, the draw, it's just like an easy path to the 1 seed where they get to play, like, I don't know, probably Switzerland would be the likeliest opposition for them. They finished 4th in Group A. So that's just an easy path to the semifinals. And with this much talent all over the Americans, I bet the Gauthier for top goal scorer, top point scorer, like 5-1, and a couple long shots here. Will Smith, 25-1 top point scorer, and Gabriel Perreault, 40-1 top goal scorer, because they're going to be playing a bunch of shit teams in Group B, especially Norway and Slovakia and Czechia are decent. They probably won't put too many goals in them. Who am I blanking on? Who's the 5th team in Group B there? It's
who'd you say? Slovakia, Czechia,
Norway.
Here I got it.
What am I missing?
Switzerland, Slovakia, Norway.
Switzerland's in that group. Okay, and Switzerland. Traditionally, they've been more defensive team, but I've been hearing that they have a weaker squad this year. So that's another opportunity for these Americans to just put up points. And again, if they play like a Latvia in the quarterfinal. They'll just get lots of opportunities for these elite players. And like the number one power play is absolutely stacked. Like that line of Will Smith, Gabriel Perreault, and Ryan Leonard. They're on the US NDT team for a while, so they already have the chemistry. Now they put him on the power play with Cutter Gauthier. It's absolutely loaded. I want to see them in action against anybody, but especially these weaker teams, and just watch them work and win these games 7-8-0. So yeah, they'll just look for these Americans to get a lot of points, a lot of goals. I think that they'll have fun scoring, like far more than years past. So let's go, fucking America.
Fucking right, man. Like this United States development program has been absolutely just elite over the past maybe 5-6 years, man. Like arguably the best development program in the entire fucking world when it comes to junior players. It's nuts. One factor when it comes to this American team that I think not a lot of people are bringing up here. We talk so much about like chemistry and continuity of players that are playing together and players returning to this tournament and stuff like that. Not only do you have players returning to this team here from the last year, you have like fucking 8 guys on this team that are playing in Boston College right now. They're all just on the same fucking team. It is absolutely insane. So like, it's not like you have to go through that, find the chemistry process, make things work. These guys are literally living together, fucking 1/3 of the team, for Christ's sakes, man. So it's absolutely insane that that's the case, dude. This American team's going to be fucking lights out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Cutter Gauthier can do. He's the Flyers' top prospect behind Michkov. So I mean, his shot's been great this year in college. So I'm excited to see if he can top goal scorer 6-1. I might take that.
You got the only
way they can lose is if they roll out a garbage can with all the other teams' names on it. Because then the hockey gods are gonna just feel like, go fuck yourself, bud. You're not winning this tournament. No, I think it's safe to say America is, and as they should be, the favorite to win this fucking tournament, dude. They're fucking nasty. Yes, okay, Gilbert, come on. You got any thoughts for America here? They're your boys.
Yeah,
you're
I like them.
You're a little buzzing. I like it.
I'm exhausted. I like America here. I mean, they're still 2-1 to win it all at some books. I do like that. I'm upset that I missed out on the 4-1 that Joel has got, but it's also like a great bet at 2-1. I think they're definitely going to medal. I think they're Joel, would you say minus something to medal?
Minus 400 is the best price. Minus 147 was when I bet them. So it's just
fucking
hammer it. They're going to medal. I think just take them 2-1, and then I don't mind hedging or going for a middle in the gold medal game, or if they get close to down there. I
think if you got books with the point scorers, goal scorers, I think that's the better way to go than the the crazy minus 400 or whatever to medal. But yeah, just it's like if you're a Patriot, just bet the 2-1. Who gives a fuck if you lose the value of what it was a couple weeks ago? But that's the joy of these kind of tournaments.
Yeah, it was 4-1. Now it's 2-1, but it might be plus 150 tomorrow. Like you gotta get the best value while you can.
100%. Okay, we're gonna move over to the side B of the pool here. I'm gonna jump into Slovakia. You guys like Slovakia? That's not Slovakia. What's the meat on the stick?
Slovakia.
I can't say it right now. Slovakia.
Slovakia.
I've had beers. I'm sorry. Whatever. It's first day of vacation. Who gives a fuck? Or holidays, whatever. All right. We're talking about Slovakia in this fucking game here, dude. This Slovakia team, we just talked about it a little bit with America when it comes to continuity of players that are familiar with themselves. This team has 11 players drafted to the NHL on their fucking team, man. And again, I'll bring it up, like I said, with Czechia. Like, this is a big deal for these European programs, man. This is a lot of success. It shows the step that things are starting to trend. 11 players on this team are fucking drafted. Slovakia. Returning players to this team, more importantly though, you have 12 players returning from last year from this tournament. That's fucking significant, man. I think that's going to be pretty good for this team. Overall here, Slovakia has elite offensive upside, dude. Like, you can expect them to play a super fast-paced game, which traditionally, much like Czechia, like Joel said, they focus a little bit more on the defensive side of the game. However, they are highly skilled. There's a lot of question marks on this fucking back end, dude. Like, more so than Czechia. Like, this back end is suspect when it comes to the defensive side of the game. The departure is Simon Nemec obviously graduating to the NHL and having success here with the New Jersey Devils. That leaves a pretty big hole for a number one defenseman on the back end of this team. But that being said, they have the ability to make up for it when it comes to offensive as well as goaltending here. We will be diving into that a little bit. I'm going to run through the players that I really like that I think are going to be significant, man, here. First one, this is a guy that maybe a host on our show will be familiar with on the forward side of things. We have Alex Cernak. He's 19 years old. He's a winger. He plays both left wing and right wing. He was drafted in the 4th round, 120th overall in 2023 to the Philadelphia Flyers here. Our boy Ryan Gilbert's representing. Hell yeah, this kid's a decent player here. He's currently playing for Västervik IK in the Allsvenskan. That's the 2nd-tier league in the Swedish league. He is playing against men as a 19-year-old. In 19 games this year, he has 4 goals and 8 assists for 12 points. Last year's World Juniors in 5 games, he put up 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points. Dude, offensively, the ability on this kid is fucking sick. Like, his shot is absolutely unbelievable. I was watching highlights, and this kid's just going over the net and just going fucking bar down. I was like, this is unbelievable. It's sick. Great positioning as well. His quick release on his shot, he's got a little bit of that fucking Austin Matthews going on. The little pop, the little toe drag pop. He's got a little bit of that going on. He doesn't need a lot of room to get his shot off. One thing I really like about this player, this motherfucker, even though he's drafted in the 4th round here, this guy made the trip overseas for Philly's rookie camp. And Philly's rookie camp took place about 1 week before the start of his season in Sweden. And he was talking about it. They was doing an interview, and he was like, you know what? Like, I just really wanted to be here. I wanted to see what the organization is about, and I wanted to prove to them that I'm committed to it. And what that does is that shows leadership both on and off the ice. He was commended for his leadership last year for the Slovakian team, and he'll be expected to play a big part, in the dressing room for this team here. Is he going to be the top end player on this team? No, of course he's not. He's going to pop in some points here. He's going to get more ice time, and he's going to be a big part off the ice as well. So Alex Cernak will be definitely a guy that you should be commending for the Slovakian team here. Now, when it comes to offensive production, someone I'm really looking forward to watching here, centerman. They got like a 2-headed fucking monster on center here, dude. We're going to talk about Dalibor Dvorsky here. 18-year-old centerman, dude. This guy was drafted 10th overall. He's fucking awesome. He was drafted 10th overall in the 1st round last year in the 2023 entry draft to the St. Louis Blues. Currently playing for the Sudbury Wolves in the OHL in 20 games. Motherfucker's got 18 goals and 16 assists for 34 points. Like, this guy's sick. Last year's World Juniors, he had 5 games played. He had 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. I'm pretty sure you're going to see those numbers increase this year, man. This guy's going to be a fucking animal, whether he's first-line center or second-line center. This talks to this guy even being a potentially breakout MVP candidate should Slovakia go on a run here for the tournament. He did play. He played 10 games for IK Oskarthorn in the SHL this year. So he did play 10 games in the Swedish Elite League against men. They didn't go very well. He had 0 points in those 10 games here. Oscar is not a great team, but once he came to Canada, dude, he started fucking lighting the lamp here. He's a 2-way centerman, lots of patience with the puck, very physical in the corners, just great at protecting and battling for the puck. Like when he's in deep, kind of reminds me a little bit of John Tavares in there, when he's fucking bouncing the puck behind the boards and fending off defensemen. I love seeing that here. He's also very hard on the puck defensively, though. He plays the center position as it should be. He's coming in the back end. You like that, coming in the back end? There you fucking go. He's rocking that. No, but he's hard on the pucks as he should be, very well with his position. Needs a little bit of work on his skating here, but I don't think you're going to see that as a problem in this tournament. You see it a little bit more like when he was playing in the SHL against men here, but this guy is going to be a fucking stud for this team. I'm so pumped to watch him play. The second side of that 2-headed giant they have in this centerman here is Samuel Honzik. He's a 19-year-old centerman. He was drafted 16th overall in the 1st round. He's drafted to the Flames, not the Canucks. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Honzik. Never mind.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this is Honzik. A little different. Drafted the Flames 16th overall in the 1st round of the 2023 NHL entry draft. Now, he is playing for the Vancouver Giants right now in the WHL.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe that's what it is. Currently this year, he has 5 games played. He has 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points. You're like, 5 games? What the fuck? He suffered a lower body injury in preseason here, but he just came back, I think, like 2 weeks ago, and he's been lighting the lamp. To put things in perspective for this player, dude, last year he played 43 games for the Vancouver Giants. He had 23 goals and 33 assists for 56 points as an 18-year-old. You might remember him from last year's tournament of the World Juniors. He only played 2 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. He was the guy that took the skate blade to the leg, in the back of his leg against America. He ended up having like a fucking 3-inch gash in his leg or some shit like that. It ended his tournament. He actually missed 4 weeks of his WHL season because of that. People were talking about it. It was early in the season, I think in like the 3rd game or something, or 2nd game rather. But dude, this guy's got fucking quick hands. And he fucking uses him. Like when you're breaking in against a defenseman, he can fucking drag in you. And not only that, but he can fucking use him when he's one-on-one with the goalie, man. You watch this guy shootouts and like fucking penalty shots opportunities. And even just like when he gets the puck in tight with the goalie, it's not just a puck on net. He's fucking making moves, dude. And he's sick. 6'4", 200 fucking pounds, 19-year-old centerman. This is a big old boy we got here in the center of the ice for Slovakia, dude. So yeah, between him and then Dvorsky, these two centermen are going to be fucking shit. Yes, Max Jankman, Leafs dog shit today. That's not what we're talking about. Go fuck yourself. All right, moving down again here to the Slovakia offense here. We got Philip Massar. This is another guy here. I'm excited. You guys might remember Philip Massar's name a little bit. Some of you might, some of you won't. He was drafted in the 1st round, 26th overall in the 2022 entry draft. Remember where they were saying, oh, we drafted Yuri Slafkovsky. Oh, and we drafted his buddy in the 1st round too with Montreal. This is the other guy, you know, but he's not just the other guy. Philip Massar is a valuable player, man. He's with the Kitchener Rangers right now in the OHL. He's played 20 games. He's got 13 goals and 19 assists for 32 points in those 20 games. That's pretty sweet. He started the year with Laval, actually, in the AHL. He played 2 games. He had 0 goals, 1 assist, though, in the 2 games. That's pretty admirable. And then they sent him down to the OHL. When they sent him down, he came out fucking flying, dude. In the first 10 games, he had 5 goals and 13 assists for 17 points with Kingston. Last year's World Juniors, he had 5 games played. He had 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. He did wear the assistant captain last year as an 18-year-old. That's worth noting as well. This guy's going to be a big part of this team offensively, man. He's a heads-up player with the ability to extend plays with his feet and his hands. He's one of those players. Remember that, you got guys like Kasperi Kapanen that can skate like the wind, but they just can't have their hands keep up with their feet. That's not a problem when it comes to Philip Massar, dude. So I'm expecting to see him be pretty significant when it comes to this team. Quick strike offense skills. He can create chances out of nowhere, almost out of thin air. It's almost similar to almost like what we're seeing out of Brock Besser this year, where it just seems like he just gets the puck and next thing you know, it's off his stick and it's in the net and not a lot of people see it coming. As well, he has a great passing ability. So this kid, I'm kind of going to be getting some eyes on him. I'm excited to see him play. We also have Martin Misick as a 19-year-old right winger. He was drafted 55th overall in the 2nd round in 2022 to the Chicago Blackhawks here. Currently playing for the Erie Otters this year. In the OHL, he's got 28 games played, 13 goals, 13 assists for 26 points. Last year's World Juniors, he only played 3 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. Wasn't a big factor here. They'll be looking for him to kind of play in those like middle 6, maybe 3rd line pairing here. But still significant, man, because when it comes to this tournament, depth is important. And this is a guy that can give you talented offensive abilities from a depth point of view. We're seeing that in his junior and his OHL career so far this season. His biggest asset is his skating ability, man. He's got fucking fantastic edge work that he uses when making moves against defensemen and goalies one-on-one as well. He's an absolute gamer when it comes to fucking puck battles, dude. Like working the puck, getting sticks on the puck, in the corners, battling, just a hard boy. He's 6'2", 195 pounds. This ain't no fucking little 18-year-old that's weighing $160 going in these corners. This guy's a stud. Doesn't play much of a physical game, though. I will be sad. You're not going to see him step up and just crush guys, but he will be hard on the pucks, and he has a very smart IQ play. He's great at pressuring the puck carrier and forcing turnovers. So this is another guy that, like, hey, when we're up in a game and we're looking for a little shutdown, this is a guy that you roll out on the ice in the 3rd period. So keep an eye out for Martin Misick. Another guy a lot of people are talking about here is Yuri Pekarik, 18-year-old left winger, drafted in the 3rd round, 76th overall in 2023 to the St. Louis Blues, playing for the Dubaqua. I don't think that's right. Dubaqua Fighting Saints in the USHL. I don't fucking know. 18 games played there, though. He's got 5 goals.
Like a Quebec team.
I know. That's what I was saying, too. I was like, did I miss that up? But no. 18 games played, 5 goals, 22 fucking assists for 27 points in 18 games. Two-way player, very fucking physical too, though. 6'2", 185 pounds, and he's still growing. Loves competing for the puck in front of the net. This is almost like a James Van Riemsdyk type of player. He's just in the right positioning there in front of the goalie. He's fucking battling. Great hockey sense, border. I wouldn't say elite, but pretty fucking good. And just a phenomenal playmaker, man. When the puck's on this guy's stick, he's always kind of like a step or two ahead of the game. And he's good enough that his passing ability complements that vision that he does have. Another guy here we're talking about, Sevak Petrovsky, 19-year-old. This guy can play center. He can play the wing as well. He was this is where kind of some people got a little bit put off. He was a 6th-round draft pick in 2022, 185th overall to the Minnesota Wild. Currently playing for the Owen Sound Attack in the OHL. 28 games played. In those 28 games played, 10 goals, 18 assists for 28 points. Last year's World Juniors, he played 5 games. He had 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. You may be sitting there like, oh, this is a 6th-round draft pick. Why the fuck are we talking about this guy? Minnesota might have found gold in the late round, man. Like this guy potentially could be a fucking gamer, maybe like a third line player that they picked up in the 6th round. He's fucking sick. Throughout his development, he's been a lead at, finding and creating open ice. And, we didn't really see it in his first year. Last year, he was absolutely excellent with it. Look at his numbers in the junior this year. He's playing at a point per team pace on an Owen Sound team in the OHL. As well, he's great at giving his team an outlet, dude. So if you're in trouble along the boards, this guy, when he plays center and junior, he's great at supporting you and getting in the mix. So many guys will just fucking give up and let the puck turn over. He'll give you an outlet. That's something to be desired. Shows great leadership as well. There's a lot of talk that this guy might get the C for the team here, so that'll be interesting to keep an eye for. 19-year-old, probably his last World Juniors here. Either way, Minnesota Wild fans, you got a fucking guy in the 6th round, man. So I'd be very happy for that. Left wing side here, we got Adam Sakura. He's a 19-year-old left winger here. He's drafted in the 2nd round, 63rd overall, 2022 to the New York Rangers. I fucking am in love with this player, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I try to only allocate a certain amount of time when I was like looking into these players. I couldn't help but not only watch this guy's highlights, but listen to his interviews. This motherfucker has been playing for the Hartford Wolfpack of the AHL all year this year as a fucking 19-year-old. 25 games played. He has 3 goals and 8 assists for 11 points. Doesn't seem too crazy. Last year in the World Juniors, he had 5 games played, 1 goal, 0 assists for 1 point. Pretty sure you're going to see that fucking change this year, man. This kid is fucking awesome. This guy's a buzzsaw on the ice, dude. He uses his elite speed to pressure every puck carrier. This guy, fucking Satterman will have the puck. This motherfucker's going to be on it. He'll pass the puck to the right winger. First guy on the puck after he makes that pass is this fucking same motherfucker, Adam Sakura. I am in love with this kid's game. And he genuinely, like, you listen to him in interviews, hockey players are so fucking boring. This guy is just happy to be playing the game. He fucking loves every minute of it. Hartford brought him in as an 18-year-old last year to come overseas to play in their playoff push. And I think he had like 6 games or something with them in the playoffs last year as an 18-year-old. The players love playing with this guy. You see it when he scores. Everybody's all fucking pumped. But this guy's a buzzsaw, like I said, dude. Use elite speed to pressure puck carriers, block shots like an animal. This guy eats fucking pucks, as a winger in the defensive zone. He's simply fearless. Such a fucking wicked shot offensively, too. He's holding his own, playing against men and arguably the 3rd best league in the world with the AHL. Just nasty fucking hands, dude. New York Rangers, you got yourself a fucking guy. It's argue with me. I dare you to do it. I'll tell you to fuck off. Adam Sakura, I am all on board. I want this guy to have so much success in this tournament. He's sweet. From the defensive side of things here, we got Maxim Strabak. He's an 18-year-old right-handed defenseman. He was 45th overall draft pick in the 2nd round in 2023. This year, he's currently playing at Michigan State, NCAA. 15 games played. He has 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. Last year, this is his 3rd tournament with the Slovakian team in the World Juniors. 2021, 2022, he had 4 games played, 0 goals, 0 assists. Last year, he played a bigger role, 2022, 2023. In 5 games, he had 0 goals and 3 assists. Strong two-way defenseman with great skating ability, extremely smart with the puck, and he can use his skills to clear the defensive zone as well. Excellent in transition, man. Like, that's where this guy thrives the most. Talented at stripping the puck as well when it comes to players kind of rushing in on him, and he's great at stepping up while defending against zone entries. That's what you need from a defensive player here. Solid positioning, always has his stick in the lane, and he has a willingness to block shots. This is a player. I wish Joel didn't just walk away here because this is the player that I really wanted to get his insight with, and it's the only one I really wanted to fucking hear him talk about. But whatever. I guess he's not. We're talking about Luka Radovichovec. I hope I pronounced that name right. Luka Radovichovec. This is okay. He's back. Let his mouth. He's going. Talk soccer, dude. Okay, Luka Radovichovec. He's a 16-year-old right-handed defenseman here. He's arguably one of the youngest players in this entire tournament. 2025 eligible draft pick, so he's not even eligible for this year's draft. He's eligible for next year's draft. Yeah. Jolie, put your fucking headset on. Put your headset on. Come on.
What's up?
The one player I wanted to talk about and you to be around, and you fucking get up and walk away. So I'm redoing it.
I went on for like 10 minutes, man. I just got to piss.
All right. Listen here. Defenseman Luka Radovichovec, okay, 16-year-old right-handed defenseman. Is draft eligible not this year, but next year in 2025. I'm so pumped for this fucking player, dude. He's currently playing in Orbjo HK J20 in the J20 National League. That is the under 20 league in Sweden. This guy did get the call up for 2 games in the SHL this year as a 16-year-old. Defenseman, right-handed defenseman. He only played 49 seconds in those 2 games, so like you can't really say he played, but he was around the team. He was with grown men. He was practicing with grown men as a 16-year-old. His value for there in his under 20 campaign here, he has 27 games played. He's got 2 goals and 16 assists for 18 points. This is one of the youngest players in this tournament as a 16-year-old. I'm fucking so pumped to see him play, dude. 5'10", 154 pounds. You think that's small? He's 16 years old, bro. Like this guy's gonna grow. Yeah. He's gonna grow, dude. This guy throws the ball. This is a 16-year-old that plays against 20-year-olds as it is. I'll tell you right now, when I played junior, I was 16 years old. I was playing against 20-year-olds. These guys were fucking grown men, and yeah, they would have crushed me. But if you watch this guy play, he fucking throws hits, dude. Like it's technique at this point. He's gonna catch somebody with their fucking head down. I'm telling you right now, he crushes kids. His offensive upside is elite. Like we're gonna see people talking about this. He's currently projected to go in the second round in 2025. That's gonna go up. This kid is so fucking good. He's playing in the low-scoring Swedish league too. Like I talked about earlier when we talked about Sweden, even the under 20 league itself, there's not a lot of goals. In 27 games as a defenseman, he has 18 points. In the Helinka Gretzky this year, 4 assists in 5 games. Okay, so this kid's a fucking stud, dude. I'm so pumped to watch this kid play. I hope I pronounced his name right. Luka Radovichovec, 18-year-old right-handed defenseman. I'm pumped. And then finally, to wrap things up here, in goal for this team, we got Adam Gajan, 19-year-old. He was the goalie last year for this team as well. We saw him. He was the guy with the green pads. Second overall draft pick this year in the 2023 NHL entry draft, 35th overall to the Chicago Blackhawks here. He plays for the Green Bay Gamblers in the USHL, 20 games played. He's got a 3.03 goals against average, a .911 save percentage, 14-4-1. Numbers don't look that great. A lot of offense, a lot of scoring in the USHL. He's currently committed to the University of Minnesota Duluth in the NCAA for next season. Last year's World Juniors, he played all the meaningful games for this Slovakia team. 4 games played, 2.4 goals against average, .936 save percentage. Sick numbers. 2-2-0 on the record. 6'3". Gajan is surprisingly fast in the net, dude. Like we saw him dominate last year's tournaments. Sick flexibility. You're going to see it again this year. This guy's going to be doing the splits harder than fucking Miss M when Ryan walks in the room. Look the fuck out. He's going to be all over. He played all the big games for Slovakia, like I said, especially one where they beat the Americans 6-3. And he'll be pivotal in Slovakia this year, dude. Like if they want to have success, this is going to be the guy that gets them to the promised land. I'm not going to talk about these guys, but notable players we're looking at on this team. They're deep, bro. They got Jacob Kroniak, right-handed defenseman, 18 years old. Adam Zinka, he's a winger in 19, drafted in the 7th round by Arizona in 2022. May sound like he's shit. He's actually not. Viljan Kemak, right-handed defenseman, 19 years old. He is returning to the team this year. Slovakia, dude, like they drew a tough hand last year playing Canada in the quarterfinals. Like that's not even their fault. They took that Canadian team to overtime. They ended up losing 4-3, arguably versus the sickest Connor Bedard goal that we've all seen. It was the one where he dangled through everyone in overtime and went cheese. I remember that was the same night as the DeMar Hamlin kind of thing happened in the NFL. So maybe it got overshadowed a little bit how well this team actually did play. But dude, with the optic and offense and the elite level goaltending, this is the team that there are some questions on the back end. I have Slovakia just kind of missing out on the medals. I think potentially this team could even maybe get bounced in the quarters. But you know what, dude? Like, if it happened like that, it wouldn't be like they got pumped like 6-1. It would be like what we saw last year, an overtime loss against a team that has potential to go and fucking win everything. And with that being said, at fucking 10-1 to medal, there's some value on that too. The offensive upside on this team is there. 11 drafted NHL players, 12 players returning from this year last year. Goaltending is great. Defensive is awesome, or a bit sus, I guess, but offense is awesome. I'm just saying I wouldn't sleep on them at 10-1 to medal. Okay, so Slovakia, these European teams, dude, they're fucking way better than what it used to be. It's going to be awesome to watch them play.
Yeah, you mentioned the 10-1 medal. At first, I was kind of a little bit pessimistic about Slovakia with Simon Nemec not playing anymore. He was their best player last year. But no, they got a lot of guys coming back, a lot of elite talent coming in, and they're in the weaker side of the bracket. So yeah, I jumped on that 10-1 to medal. I think this team has a good case for a dark horse. After listening to people who know a lot more about this stuff than I do. So yeah, I'm just parroting what they're saying. But absolutely, I like this team to make a run, maybe playing like a bronze medal game against the, I don't know, like the Swedes maybe, and hopefully just you'll get better than 10-1 odds in that game if that happens. That's for sure.
Fuck.
So yeah, the Slovakians are a force. You mentioned they have a lot of offensive talent. Yeah, and goaltending is not a terrible issue. So yeah, I'm high on the Slovakian team as well. I think that relative to odds, I like them a little bit better than the Czechs, and they play each other on Boxing Day. So if you want,
that's going to be a big game.
Yeah, I mean it's not one I'm going to be watching because I think it's on at 3:30 in the morning PST. But Slovak's a big dog, so if you want a dog play there, luckily I was able to cash out. I played minus 200 because it was an off market, and I was thinking that the Czechs were better than the Slovakians by margin. But thankfully I was able to cash out of that after looking deeper into Slovakia. And I think that there might even be a little bit of value on the Slovakians to beat the big brothers, so to speak, on the Catholic side of the Czechoslovakian divide.
Yeah, make sure you shop around for that game because I see Slovakia like plus 150. Some books they're plus 195 on DraftKings. I like that. I was going to recommend that.
You'll find all sorts of like wild odds across different books.
So I mean, if you're into arbitrage, this is probably a good time for it. Too. I also do like the under in that first game, under 6.5. I do love their goalie, and as talent talked on more and more, I like this Slovakia team overall. Like maybe 9-1
baby, all the info.
It's great. 9-1 to win the group. Like if they can stifle USA and win and beat them, like why not? And yeah, to medal, I don't have that market anywhere, but 10-1, I take that as well. What I like the most though is them to best finishing position head to head against Switzerland. They are minus 155 on Bet Park. So
I like that.
That is free money. Start the card.
I'm assuming that's also on like Unibet and Bet Rivers, but
Parks is Canby, right?
Yeah, Parks is
right.
Canby.
So I'll put down my $17 over there.
I love that. Yeah.
All right, Finland, Mr. Gilbert. What do we got going on with Finland here?
Yeah, I'm liking Finland here. I think Finland is in a bit of a tough spot because they're in Group A there with Sweden and Canada, so they're kind of overshadowed a bit. But I think they, first of all, of course, they have a plus 350 to win the group. I think that's decent. Plus 550 to win it all. Maybe this is a solid group. They have a lot of good forwards here. Casper, I don't know how tuned in here. Second round pick, 36 overall by the Sharks. He's been killing it in the OHL, 20 goals and 11 assists for 31 points in 28 games. OHL is a decent league there, so he's going to be playing against his peers here as well. Consta Hellenis, I believe his name is. I think he's a big prospect for his upcoming draft. He's ranked in the top 5, top 10 here by all the major analysts. He's got one hell of an offensive ability. He has 20 points in 28 games in the Liga there, which it's the Finnish league. It's not nearly anywhere near the NHL, AHL, or even SHL, but it's playing against men. So coming back down and playing against your peers for a little bit. He has 11 points in 9 games with the U20 team here this year, so he's been good there. Emil Hemming is another draft eligible, potentially looking for a top 20 pick, looking like a first rounder though here. He's currently also playing in the Liga there. Only 8 points in 26 games, so he's more of a depth guy for them. They got Lenny Haminaho here. He's a second-round pick by the Devils, 58th overall. I think he's playing well here. Also in the Liga, 17 points, 11 goals there in 26 games, so he could be some goal scoring. So yeah, they're pretty deep up front there, but they don't have like the great guys, besides the Hellenist. I think he's a top prospect in this upcoming draft. They don't have like the game breaking talents. They're going to rely on their depth more than anything, and that means their goalie Nicholas Kako here. He is playing in the Liga currently, 906 save percentage, 2.36 goals against. I believe he played in last year's World Juniors. He wasn't great, but he's coming back here. I think he's relatively big. I think he's like 6'4". I read. 6'4". He appeared in 10 games in the Liga. So yeah, he's solid there in net. So I like this team. I wrote down bet them as big dogs. So if you see him a big dog in a game, I only saw him plus 150, I think, in the first game against Canada. That's not quite good enough. But also I would look for unders in these games with that goaltending and more depth than the top level talent.
Yeah, Finns are traditionally a team that overachieve expectations relative to their talent level. We've had some success betting them, like in the Olympics in China and in the World Juniors as well to some extent. They're just a team that competes. They're the definition of the sum or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts kind of team. Like that. That's what they do. They always come together, rally together. The goalies always play better for the national team than they do for their clubs because they take the shit seriously, more seriously than most. But yeah, on paper, it's not a great squad. I mean, roster talent, whatever. I think that they are possibly 4th or 5th. I mean, they could put an argument for Czechia or the Czechs ahead of them, but no, they're like. I just can't back this team right now. They didn't have a good year last year, and there's just not a lot of high end talent here. And I'm just gonna be looking to play unders in their games. That's the only advice I can give for the Finns right now. They play a solid, structured defensive game. They'll try to win games 2-1, and if they get scored on 3 times, they're not winning the game. So like that's the way I see this team.
If this was women's hockey, I would be pumping the tires of Finland right now because the women's program is fucking unbelievable. It's starting to push right up there with versus Canada and America.
Speaking of the Olympics, they were good too there in China, right? Like I think they 100%. Finished. They were competitive at least against the Americans.
They're the 3rd best women's program in the world. Like it's unarguable at this point. They're that fucking good. But that being said, though, there's still a little bit to be desired when it comes to the juniors at this point. I don't know what it is, man. Like. It's weird because like Liga's not a crazy bad league. Like I feel like the SHL and the Liga are closer from a league point of view than like or the KHL and AHL and SHL is. So, but there's some good players there. It's a good place to develop. And the thing about Europe is all these players don't just play where they're from. It's so fucking close over there. So it's weird to see kind of the slip off from Finland. I think they won it like 6 or 7 years ago now, I guess it was. So maybe it was a little bit of
they won it. They won it. Finland won it the last time it was in Sweden, 2014.
Yeah, that was the Aho Kapanen kind of team. I think Laine was on it and Pujarvi when he was actually good.
Was Saros the goalie?
If he was, that would have been elite. Fuck, I don't know, but I feel like Saros is a bit older. I might be wrong. I don't know. Either way, it's just weird to see this Finnish team because we're so used to them being like top contenders, and they could. don't get me wrong, but I don't think anyone's expecting them as far as you are with like a Sweden, obviously, or Canada or USA. Obviously, I did a bit more digging into like Slovakia and Czechia than I did into Finland, so I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I kind of have those teams like ahead of this team, man. So I don't know. Anything can happen. I liked what Jolie said with the unders, though. I think the offensive talent might be a little bit lacking when it comes to this team here, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, overall, I'm not too concerned about the Finnish under 20 hockey team here.
That was Saros in 2014, by the way.
So it was
insane, an insane team there.
Insane team there. Who they probably had some studs on? Was Hiskinen on that team, or was he a little bit too old? He's probably on that team.
No,
you think so?
No, Hiskinen's a lot older than that, or younger than that.
Younger.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy. I'm sure they had some stud. All right, that's good for Finland. Any last minute thoughts? I think that kind of clears it up.
Yeah. No. Let's go.
Yeah.
I did not do much.
Go quickly on Germany. I'll go quickly on Latvia, and then that should be good.
Sounds good. Yeah, I didn't do much research on Germany. It's basically all about surviving and advancing for this team this year. It's going to be close. Norway coming up big. They got this stud in Nygaard. I can't remember his first name right now, but he's supposed to be like this legit guy, maybe the heir to Matt Zuccarello for the Norwegians. So he's the guy I'm going to be watching, probably going to be facing off against him in the relegation rounds if Germany can get to the 4th spot, because they're in the same group as Latvia. So if we don't finish out of Latvia, we'll be in big trouble. So we got to play the Norwegians in the relegation rounds. But yeah, for this team, the German program has been on the rise for the past 5, 6, 7 years. We got Draisaitl, then we got Stützle and Mort Seider, Lucas Reichel, JJ Peterka. We got a bunch of guys coming in, but this generation, this age group is not so good. Best guy by far is probably Julian Lutz, who was drafted by the Arizona Coyotes. Of course, they probably like half the draft picks in this tournament. And,
they do though, for real.
Yeah. And Kevin Bicker, a Red Wings pick. He'll be playing alongside Mort Seider in the future, no doubt. But other than that, it's pretty bleak. Luca Hauf, another CHLer, he's been playing well there. Defense is pitiful. Goaltending, Simone Wolf, I think that he played last year. Could be wrong. I think that like half the German goalies are named Wolf. No, he is returning. I'm reading now. Yeah, he wasn't great last year, but he was solid, and he'll need to be solid at least to prevent games from going 8-1 kind of thing. So yeah, Germans need their goaltending to come through. Defense needs to just be average and get a few clutch goals off the rush from Julian Lutz and Kevin Bicker and Luca Hauf. These guys are the only real talent on the squad. So yeah, it's not looking great for the Germans, but it's been a pretty solid run here. The Germans have never lasted this long without being relegated. So yeah, I mean, Norwegians are probably going to be, if Germans can't beat the Latvians, then we'll play the Norwegians. So that's what it comes down to. Relegation. I'm not. Yeah, you're going to find some nasty big puck lines against the Germans. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe just bet the over because of their bad defense and questionable goaltending. And I think that they can score, especially if the Germans get a couple of power plays. So they could pot one on the power play. 5-on-4. It's a great equalizer, of course, so to speak. And yeah, I'll be looking at overs in German games, if anything. But yeah, mostly just cheering for them to finish ahead of Latvia, and if not, beat fucking Norway in relegation round.
Yes. Yeah. You brought up something that I think just kind of sums everything up. You look at the German development program over the past couple of years. The guys, like you said, like Draisaitl, Moritz Seider, Timmy Stützle, Lucas Reichel. These are all players. This German program right now, as it stands, doesn't really have these types of players right now. And, it was a great run, like you said, not to say that it's over. Like, there's no reason why in a couple of years that they can't kind of come back and regroup a little bit here, but just as where it stands right now, they don't have that upside talent right now that they did in years previous. So you hit the nail on the head there, man. And to them, it's let's try and survive relegation. There's a couple teams that are in that boot. Not having Russia in the tournament does kind of help their cause as well. Opens up one more spot. It's Das Boot, exactly. But yeah, so but you brought up some point there, like just because they don't have that upside, man, it doesn't mean that they can't score. If you guys know anything about the DEL, the Tier 1 men's league over there in Germany.
Plenty goals in that league.
It's a fucking high-scoring league, bro. It really is, So, there's no reason to think that, hey, this team's just going to get shut out. They might be good for one or two here and there, even against some of the better teams. So, it's definitely an offensive-focused league, and I think we'll see that. I think the overs, like you talked about, have to be kind of the safest play when it comes to these German things, because you are going to see -6.5 when -7.5 when USA plays Germany or something. So
if USA plays Germany, I'll be fucking ecstatic, because that means that we advanced out of the group.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you know what I meant though. Like when some Canada plays them, or Sweden plays them, or whoever the fuck, right? Like so, it's gonna be a tough look for the Germans, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But Gilbert, what's your thought on Team Germany?
I don't have any.
Can you two fucking finish up?
It's fucking 1 a.m. I need to go to sleep.
All right, well, we'll keep this going quick. I got one team left to do here. We're not going to do Switzerland. We're not going to do Norway. They're both pretty much shit. I'm going to run through Latvia here. I don't have as much on this as I do the others, so I'll give you a preface to that.
This go for the record with 3 piss breaks for myself.
Exactly. This Latvian team here, they have 2 current drafted players on the team in the NHL. They do have 8 players returning to this tournament. Latvia is always a fun team to kind of get behind at this tournament, man. Obviously, there are many of steps.
You would as a goalie.
That's what it is. Yeah. Exactly. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but they're always a fun team to kind of get behind. Obviously, they're steps behind the likes of like Canada, USA, Czechia, Finland, Slovakia, Sweden. But it doesn't stop them from giving those teams, the occasional run for their money. We saw that last year with Canada when they played them. They're kind of a fun team with Latvia, man. But a couple players there are kind of worth taking a look at here on the forwards here. We got Dans Lakmelis, 19-year-old centerman here. He was drafted in the 4th round, 119th overall to Boston 2022. Currently playing at UMass in the NCAA. 12 games played there. He's got 4 goals, 1 assist for 5 points. Last year at the World Juniors in 6 games, did have 3 goals. So, you can probably expect a little bit of offense from this kid here. His greatest asset that he has that he brings is his skating ability, man. This guy's got fucking wheels. Relatively smart playmaker, too, with adequate scoring ability. He'll be on their top line for sure, and he'll have to be on his top of his game in order for Latvia to kind of contend here. This player is very interesting. It's Eric Smetekio, 18-year-old left winger. He is kind of draft eligible here. St. John's Sea Dogs is who he's playing for in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. 28 games played. He's got 15 goals, 15 assists for 30 points in the Q. It is a high-scoring league, but at least he's keeping pace. Arguably the best player on this Latvian team this year. Man, he's projected to go as high as the 2nd round in the NHL entry draft this year. So keep an eye on him. This motherfucker is 6'5" on the wing, 210 pounds. He's 18 years old. He's a fucking horse on the ice, dude. And the best thing about it, I love it. He's not scared to absolutely crush this kids. Like just fucking hit people, especially in international play, which is always fun to see, spice things up. But for a big boy though, 6'5", his hands are fucking top notch, dude. He's got a great shot on him. He'll be looking to impress and improve his draft stock here, playing on the top line for Latvia. 18-year-old kid, 6'5". Yeah, this kid could potentially. I heard some people saying maybe he can sneak into the late first round. If he has a big tournament here, it could kind of help his cause. So I'm excited. He's probably who we should be watching in Latvia, Eric Smetiko. They also have Sandis Vilmenis. He's 19-year-old left winger. He's drafted 5th round, 157th overall in the 22 entry draft to Florida. So for you Panthers fans here, he's currently playing for the Sarnia Sting of the OHL. 30 games played. He's got 10 goals and 18 assists for 28 points. So again, keeping pace to almost a point per game. Last year's World Juniors, he had 6 games, 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points, playing middle of the lineup minutes. Expect him to be on this first line, playing first line minutes as well. Vilmas, he's got a wicked fucking shot, dude. I'll give him that. Doesn't need much room to get it off, too. Kind of like I said earlier, he's got a little Austin Matthews, the toe drag, pop, toe drag, the little pop, so that's always good to see. Plethora of talent when it comes to handling the puck. We should expect to see success from his Sarnia team translate over for Latvia here. Maybe not when they're playing against great teams, but when they're playing against like Germany or whatever, he'll be one of the guys to look out for. On the back end here, defensively, they got Nick Sveniko, interesting player here, 19 years old, left-handed defenseman. This entire Latvian team, as well, I should say, they have 0 right-handed defensemen on it. It's pretty fucking weird. Every defenseman shoots left. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, he's playing for Bay Commodore Drakkar in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. 29 games played there. He's got 5 goals and 20 assists for 25 points as a defenseman. Interesting numbers there. Last year, World Juniors in 6 games, he had a goal and assist for 2 points. Fnenko has a 6 seasons so far when it comes to his 3rd season in the Quebec Major Junior League here with 25 points as a D-man. His productivity, it's undeniable. You can't deny it. But don't overlook his defensive ability, though, dude. Like, this is a big player. His mobility is fucking massive asset. Excels at closing the gap defensively within break-ins. He'll be good at stepping up. He has good neutral zone play as well. He isn't shy to fucking just box players out in front of the net too, like just mean. He's a big old mean boy, cross-checking motherfucker, big old mean Latvian man. So look out for that in the back end. He'll be a pivotal part, almost captaining the defensive side of the game here. 17-year-old that I'm really interested to see here, Darius Ujanskis. Left-handed defenseman, like they are 17. He is draft eligible for this year. Is currently playing for AIK J20 in the J20 National League. That's the under-20 league in Sweden. 25 games played in that league. He's got 5 goals and 11 assists for 16 points, man. As a 17-year-old in that league, that's pretty impressive here. Keep in mind, like I said, it's a Swedish under-20 league. There's very low scoring. So for him as a D-man to have fucking 16 points in 25 games, that's pretty special here. And he'll be looking to impress NHL scouts, heading into this year's draft. 6'1", 185 pounds here. There's talks of him being a surprise, kind of like a little surprise player of the tournament. Lots of people saying, hey, keep an eye on this guy. You might know his name by the end of it here, sneaking into the draft. His offensive ability playing in the Swedish league, like I said, is fucking sick, dude. And it's going to be needed for this Latvia team to have success and avoid relegation here. And then we got to talk about it. It's the most important thing about Latvia, goaltending, bro. This year, they're number ones. They got 3 guys, all of which could take the starting job. But so far, it looks like they're committing to Devis Rolovos, 19-year-old goaltender is currently playing for the Lone Star Bremnes in the North American Hockey League here. My fucking cat keeps being an asshole. Get the fuck out of here, Bowie. Jesus Christ. Playing for Lone Star Bremnes in the North American Hockey League. That's like the Tier 2 Junior A League in North America under the USHL. In that league, he's got 21 games played. This motherfucker, this cat here, he's got a 1.62 goals against average, a .955 save percentage, and he's 14-5-1. Like, he's lights out. I don't know much about the NAHL. Maybe his team is just fucking sick, but the guy's got sweet numbers. From what I watched, he's a fucking decent goalie too. Latvian goalies have always fucking managed to steal the show a little bit here. They'll need Ravas to do just exactly that in order to avoid relegation here. He's been lights out in North American Hockey League at 6'2". Pretty fucking good at using his athleticism to bail him out of the occasional positioning mishaps. Sometimes you'll find him a little bit too far out of the net here, overjudging rebounds. But his rebound control has been rather impressive. So that is the case in the Tier 2 American Junior League. He should see lots of shots in this tournament as well, because this Latvian team definitely leaves a little bit to desired, but at least it should be fun to watch. Yeah, dude, like overall, like last year we saw goalie Petras Berzik like play all the games, all 6 games for Latvia, record an impressive 2.47 goals against average, .914 save percentage, 160 saves. The goal this year for this fucking team, much like Jolie talked about with Germany, avoid the relegation round. They managed to sweep Austria when they were in relegations last year to stick in the tournament here. Norway is definitely better than Austria's team that they brought. Yes, they had Reidenbacher. They had a couple guys. This Norway team is a bit more complete. Chances are that's who they'll be meeting down there. It could pose a problem should they meet them there. So the head-to-head game that they have versus Germany, that's going to be the most important game for this Latvia team. That's their fucking tournament winner right there. So if they can do that and just find their way to make it to the quarterfinals, even if they get fucking rinsed, at least they know they'll secure their pot in the season or the tournament for next year. So I got them better than Germany. I think that they should win that game. I think they'll be avoiding relegation just with the likes of Germany, Switzerland, Norway. They're not worse than those teams, but you never know, man. In something like that, a couple bad games and you're fucking back in the Tier 2 tournament. So, Latvia, couple guys to look out for there. Always a fun team to watch, though.
I heard Kazakhstan is the next team up. They're back in the mix.
Yeah, their program's
Really, I like Kazakhstan. Yeah.
You know what they got?
Borat?
No, who do they got? Is
No,
it-
but those type of teams like Latvia is fun to root for, like Kazakhstan is fun to root for, like just these off countries. Like, yeah,
Fair enough.
What's their team name? Sorry. Yeah, AHL. It's in the KHL.
All I got.
Barzastana. Sorry, Barzastana is a KHL team that's based in Kazakhstan, and they're a competitive team, dude. So like hockey is big in Kazakhstan, and this is a team that makes playoffs occasionally in the KHL, and they've won a round or two in the past couple of years. So Latvian hockey's came a long way from Nick Antropov, and that's it, or not Latvian, Kazakhstani in hockey. So they got some guys there, man.
Yeah, all I got for Latvia is they've got a good run of goalies going. Elvis, the guy who died because of the fireworks thing. And,
that was a sad story.
Now we got these last couple of years for they just protect their goalie and they nurture goaltending talent, and that's how they try to win games.
Like I said though, that Eric Smetekio, that's your guy to look out for in this team, dude. He could be a second round pick next year, maybe even sneak into the first round.
What?
So, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, they're saying that he's has a chance to be the first player drafted in the top 2 rounds from Latvia since like 2012 or some shit. Teddy Bluger, I believe. So yeah,
Bluger is Latvian?
I believe so. I might be wrong.
That's wild.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think he's Latvian. Oh, he is.
Look at fucking European hockey guy, bro.
His real name is Theodor's Blugers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Teddy Bluger is his Americanized name.
Just call me the fucking European Iceman right now. That's all I want to be known.
You're on fire, bro.
100%. I had so much fun looking into these goddamn teams, bro. So
it was fun.
All right. This is probably our first 2-hour show ever, maybe at least in a long fucking time. Let's wrap this up. World Juniors, though, we had to do it. I honestly, boys, I really think that we have like a top edge fucking insight here into a lot of these teams. So check it out. We fucking killed it. Hell yeah. Go back and listen to all these teams.
I mean, a lot of podcasts, they cover America, they cover Canada, but we got our own Talon Jenkins here covering the Czechs, covering the Slovaks, and the fucking Latvians more in depth than anyone else.
I was gonna do Norway and Switzerland too, but I think we're 8 hours in. And
I would have left and had you guys up in the morning.
Would have done it by myself. I don't give a fuck, baby. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. We're all fucking tired here. Everybody go check out the Sports Gambling Podcast Network website. That's the place to be. Tons of stuff going on in the world of sports. We got hockey. World Juniors is going to be fucking sick. We're absolutely pumped for that. Obviously, we'll be touching base throughout the tournament as well. So be on the lookout for that. All the stuff, football, college football, baseball, NBA, golf, fucking all that good shit. You can find it all at the SGPN website. That's the place to be, baby. So go there, check out the articles, check out Ryan's fantasy hockey articles. They're absolutely electric. He's doing a fucking killer job of that. So be sure to read those. They're coming out weekly. This for the shows, as always, shout out Jeff Fox MMA podcast. Those guys are fucking dogs. What else we got going on here? That's everything, man. So shout out to all of our friends and pals in the Discord as well. If you're not in the Discord, you're not making money, baby. And if you're in the fucking Discord, I want you to commend us for how fucking awesome our 2-hour World Junior show was, because we fucking absolutely nailed it. That's wicked. If you want to get in there, you can reach out to myself or Ryan on Twitter. We'll be sure to point you in the right direction. Or you can reach out to the HCP Twitter account, social media assistant producer. He's probably fucking ripping it and licking it right now. It's late. It's normal time for him. His fucking Beijing ass. He'll be killing it. He'll point you in the right direction. Or what you can do is fucking just get on your knees and start praying for Team Germany, and maybe your prayers will mix in with Joel Meyer's prayers, and you guys can have a little pray conversation. And when you're praying for Team Germany, you be like, "Hey, buddy, fucking, you want to tell me how to get in the Discord?" And he'll be like, "Wutterslusion," and then after that, he'll tell you how to get into the Discord, motherfucker.
Los fucking gets.
Yeah. What he said. I like that. Lost fucking gets, baby. Let's fucking gets. I love it. What else we gotta do, Gilbert? What do we
I just want to shout you out, Talon Jenkins here. You're very extremely in depth, as Joel said, easily probably the most in depth World Juniors preview of those teams of any podcast out there. So if you've listened to this whole thing along the way, share it. Share it with your hockey friends. Like, this is I'm very proud of Talon for going in depth there.
I appreciate that.
Hopefully we can all make some money.
And shout out to any fucking degenerate listeners still listening to this shit. You're either Canadian or you're the biggest hardcore chunky HGP DJ out there.
What are you doing right now? Even
Only
live,
Canadians care about this, right?
we got 2 people listening to this live right now. Fucking one.
I have no idea how.
And we just gave a breakdown on Latvia over the World Juniors. So you guys deserve something. I don't know. That's awesome. All right, everybody. My name is Talon Jenkins. You can find me at Twitter at Talon_Jenkins94. Maybe you'll find me heading over to Eastern Europe one of these days. Get some boots on the ground.
I'm Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop. You can also follow me, find me falling asleep after this podcast.
Look at your sleep now.
Yeah, and I'm Joe Meyer, and for once, you'll find me not watching hockey after the pod because we outlasted the games even after a 10:30 Sharks game.
Go Yotes, baby.
Yeah, fucking right. Yotes and the over, man. What a fucking day of hockey. I loved it.
100%.
That was the highlight of listening to Talon's rants. Just seeing the Coyotes pouring goals. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I took all the money that I had left because I had a bad day. I had like about $600, and I put
You went all in.
I went all in on the Yotes money line. And
Oh, you deserve it, buddy.
Happy as a pig and shit. That's cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Peace. Let's go, fucking Canada, eh?
And Germany.
USA.
Yeah.